Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 6-year celebration of Comic Frontline of comic book. It's not the 6-year anniversary for Comic Book Weekly, but it's our 6-year anniversary as Comic Frontline. Today, we have a really special show for everybody here. I see JD's already asking what the difference between Batman and a robber is. Batman can go into a store without robbing.
Oh, God.
Got that one. I'm Chris, Dark Avenger C86, as you can see. Next to me, we got Cat Comic Uno. And then next to her, we have Brant from Last Empress.
What's up, everybody?
Underneath
I don't
me,
know what that was, but yeah.
It's special for the
Yeah, it's special for the anniversary, yeah.
Underneath me is Michael, Rock 18.
Hey, guys, Rock 18 here.
I just said that. And then diagonal from Michael is Mike, Comic Book Corner 2.0, Spider Slayer.
And that's it. And you're diagonal from me, Chris.
We're diagonal from one another. And then if we kick Michael off the show, you're right underneath me. Hi, Mike.
That's so mean.
This is our anniversary show.
Yeah.
I remember that.
So you can
remember that in timeout.
Raw in this show. Things are going to go off the rails in this show.
It's off the rails. It is.
It's already started.
And because we are a frontline, we actually didn't make any other plans to celebrate our anniversary. So we're going to answer questions.
Brant, stop messing with the camera.
Your questions.
I'm making it a visual spectacular for
Medium?
the anniversary. Is that what?
I was going to just say medium, but you might actually just get people to throw up because you're changing.
Yeah, just leave it the way it is.
No strobe light effects. We can't do that.
No strobe lights.
We promise you because we don't have it, or else we would do it.
We probably would.
The only strobe light we actually have is the
spoiler.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We'll get to those later.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and give a thumbs up.
Do all that stuff.
Do all that, but we'll get to that later. So we're back here. Batman.
Well, let's start out with some news. And we already got some questions, so keep coming with the questions. We're going to do a couple of news pieces first. But first up is a news story that I knew a couple of people here would like, and a couple of people here would not have a clue who this is. And that's why I picked it. And that is WWE's Xavier Woods headlines new DC Universe game show.
Yes.
That's awesome.
I know him.
I'm glad you know him, Michael.
Personally, Michael. You're like, I know him.
I know him.
He's my friend.
We're boys, you know. We're good.
He's on TV.
He's on TV. I know that guy.
So
He's on TV.
That's why you know him.
Xavier Woods. He has a popular YouTube channel, Up Down Down, and he does all kinds of stuff on there. And he's part of
behind the scenes at WWE events. Yeah,
absolutely. So that's fun. He's got like a big personality. He's a fun guy. So that's good. And
he's a huge gamer. He played against the elites at what was that? The one with Street Fighter, where there was the Street Fighter tournament.
Big gamer, comic fan. They're the guys that come out to the ring. They dress like different things, like they've dressed like Power Rangers and different things like that.
So they're not an actual wrestler?
No, they are. Yeah,
they
do wrestle.
They just come out of cereal boxes.
Yeah, they're
cool.
he's part of a trio called the New Day. They have their own cereal and everything. Bootios.
They make sure you ain't booty.
It sounds like they know how to make money.
They definitely do know how to do that.
Yeah, I'm excited to see this game show. I mean, I want to see the cereal boxes. I'm so excited.
Yeah, I think that they made a great pick choosing Xavier Woods for this type of thing. Like, perfect.
You know who's not excited?
Yeah, Bootios.
Me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Some people are not. Some people are. And S and Down X is this the anniversary episode? Yes. Finally, it is.
We're all here, and Mike doesn't have glasses on. So we're good.
I know. We're all solid. Yeah, and exactly. TVX, what game show? We don't know. It's just based on the DC Universe network.
And then he literally followed it up with, "I don't care." So why are you asking?
Why did you ask?
You might, because they're playing like comic games and stuff like that. They're one of the first ones they're doing is the old DC. What's it called? Crap. It's some kind of DC tabletop game from years ago. They're gonna play that and different things.
What
I
could
know
it
what you
be?
mean. I forgot what it was
What
called.
tabletop game did they have?
It's called DC, the tabletop game.
I forget what the article said. It was in the article.
Put your beer on it and play it.
Yeah, it's a great game.
Yeah,
SM
I played
Down
it
says,
a lot when I was a kid. I just don't remember what it's called and what
I
it
know
looks like.
Superman was in it.
1980s DC-based tabletop role-playing game DC Heroes.
Oh,
So
I
if
wasn't
anybody-
in them. So I'm sorry. SM Down says, why isn't this titled the anniversary episode? Sweet and simple, we wanted to get views. So
Where's my Abbott and Costello? Because
Well, a lot of just a lot of reason probably because it's like a lot of people wouldn't care if it is our anniversary episode. So we just announce it on the show itself, So
Right, exactly.
for the 70th time now. So
but Batman the Anime series, people care more about. So that's why we will be discussing that later on. But we are going to move on to the next topic, and then we'll answer some questions. Eternals to have a first MCU gay kiss on the big screen, which is a huge deal because Disney has not had a gay kiss. So
Oh, really? At all?
Yeah, at all in theaters. That's why. Well, at least as a main character, because like in Star Wars, we had it in the background as like a cameo thing. But what's a big deal about this is like why they didn't do it for Frozen, why they didn't do it for Star Wars is because China is a big market for them, and they're like, well, they're probably not gonna like that. So this is gonna be a big move, and maybe this is like testing waters for other stuff. Frozen 3, who knows? But I thought that was really cool.
yeah, people are like hard up on Frozen, aren't they? They want that so bad.
I mean, it's representation and all that, so it's definitely we'll see what ends up happening there.
Yeah, it's interesting that they're using characters that it's kind of smart that they're using characters that not a lot of people know, as far as the MCU goes. With the Eternals. So I mean, I just think it's it's kind of smart on their part because they might I don't know, like those kind of groups that would give backlash if it's like Captain America, you know what I mean? Which is unfortunate. I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's a very touchy subject regardless. Honestly, I'm happy they did it, but it doesn't impact me. I wasn't gonna watch Eternals anyway.
Really?
Okay. I
watch all the MCU
I'm not a
movies.
fan of Eternals. Yeah. I'm not a fan of the Eternals. That's why. So
I feel like a lot of people would have said that about Guardians, though, right? And then that's
true.
such a big movie for them. So I always give every single one a chance.
Ant-Man, it's kind of like how many fans were Ant-Man fans when that came out?
Yeah.
I mean, I was me, and then there was this other person named me.
I was not looking forward to Ant-Man, but I loved it. Yeah, so I think Eternals will be good. Yeah. What's that?
Paul Rudd. That was mostly why people saw it.
That is true. Paul Rudd.
So let's get into some of these questions. First up, I don't think Michael's seen it yet. Maybe he has, but me and Mike has, and this is crazy because Michael should have been the first one to go see it. But so how do you feel about the Sonic movie making bank? And we'll discuss the movie too, because like I said, me and Mike wanted to go see it. I mean, it's not surprising by any means because it's President's Week and kids are off, and it came out in a really good week. So
I'm like almost
55.
55, yeah, which is a lot better than Birds of Prey from last week.
I'm probably gonna go see it this Thursday.
I think whenever you get a kid's movie being released, I think it's always going to do good. And like you said, the timing was good. They released it at a good weekend, when it's a 3-day weekend or whatnot. And again, I think people will be surprised when they see it. And if you're a fan of Sonic, you'll like it. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it was personally the best movie in the world. It definitely had its flaws, but that's a type of movie where you can't really pick apart because it's a kid's movie. It's kind of like it's exactly what I expected it, and it did its job well.
Olive Garden.
It sets up what could be possibly a better second movie.
Oh yeah, the second movie I think could be a lot of fun. But yeah, they wanted us to go to Olive Garden. They wanted us to shop for some apartments on Zillow, which was interesting as a kids movie because I'm guessing kids are they're in the market for an apartment. So
the Olive Garden piece though was funny. I thought it was.
You like the I didn't see it with kids either, and I think that's also something that maybe took away from my experience. I did see it with Sonic fans, and the Sonic fans liked it, and then me and my other friend are like more writers, and that's kind of what we went
making the movie apart piece by piece. They didn't say this, they didn't do this right.
No, I mean not as much because you're like I don't want to I judge it for a Sonic movie. I'm not saying well this is the Oscars, this is Parasite. No, but I mean the writing was pretty. Yeah, exactly. Well, Parasite the movie, but
no, I meant Sonic winning something at the Oscars.
Yeah, no, Sonic is gonna win the Oscar next year. So, yeah, I mean, it was okay. I don't know. I feel like I'm being generous on that, but I think Michael will very much enjoy it. Like fans are gonna really enjoy it.
Yeah, like I said, I'm hopefully planning to go see it Thursday, so I'm hoping to just go see it.
Stop nitpicking. No, this is
our point.
We're critics here. We have 30 viewers, so thank you guys for watching.
Awesome.
Yeah. And also, Tevia, we answered the Wally West Dr. Manhattan thing last week, so if you want to check that out, we answered that. And then we got some people, lyrics magic moments this year. Oh, this is a question from Mike. Sweet Exorcist. This is something about Power Rangers. I don't know. I have a question for Mike. I know you hate Power Rangers. Like, do you like I do? But would you watch a mature R-rated version of it? I would.
I would, as long as they start killing each other. That would be awesome, man.
They're not killing bad guys, just each other.
Yeah, just gonna kill each other.
Like they had that. They did that thing on YouTube. They did that thing on YouTube one time, right?
Yeah, the fan thing.
Yeah, that was
awesome.
actually good. And if I had something like that, I would watch.
Oh man, I would become a Power Rangers fan just to watch that. That was awesome.
Don't worry.
Hello, Bear Island Comics. Oh my God, this is like all-star team of comic experts. How long has this been going on?
Way too long.
6 years.
6 years for
Way too long. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, six years frontline, and then a few years before that on another channel.
It's way too long for him not to notice.
Yeah,
That's good cover up there, Mike. Good cover up. Good.
I didn't mean it as an insult. That's what I meant.
Yeah, we've been doing this almost 10 years. I would say Frontline was 6, and I think Inc. was 2 or 3. So we're getting close to 10 years being together.
Yeah, we've been doing this.
I think we got together. I think a year before Tommy, right? Or was it longer?
It was before Tommy.
Cindy. And me and Cindy over 8 years. So
I've been in Texas 6 years in July, so it was a couple years before that. So almost 8, I guess. So.
Almost 8.
What are we gonna do when we have a decade?
We're gonna do a Q&A.
Q&A. Yeah, because we can't think of anything else.
We're definitely doing another Q&A.
Yeah.
I feel like I missed like some questions, but we're gonna go back to some. Definitely keep going with the questions, but we're gonna do some more news pieces.
Xavier is hosting a game show called DC All-Star Games.
Yes,
that's what he's hosting.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, is that what it's called? It's called DC Comics Tabletop. So look for that on your computer. So next up is that Mark Hamill is going to be Skeletor in that new like anime Masters of the Universe, and there's other great actors there too. Sarah Michelle Gellar, Kevin Conroy, Jason Mewes, of course. We got Alicia Silverstone. There's so many people here, and also very nostalgic actors. If you haven't noticed.
Yeah, I think I love that. It's really cool. I mean, we're used to him as the voice of the Joker, so switch that to Skeletor. I'm all in for that. And that
absolutely
great cast of voice actors there too. So
yeah, that is cool. And I've just realized that Mark Hamill did the voice of the Hobgoblin in the Spider-Man animated series too.
Oh, did he?
Oh,
that makes sense.
Yeah. I just realized it because I saw a video on YouTube recently about it, and it popped up, and there were like 10 facts that you didn't know about the Spider-Man. And I was like, yeah, Mark Hamill played the Hobgoblin. I'm like, really? I'm like, I never knew that.
Huh. No, I didn't either. Man.
Yeah. But that's cool, man. You got all those voice actors. Might make it for a really good show then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like it's going to be an interesting one. Also, guys, we didn't mention this, and we really should. We are doing something somewhat special for the anniversary, is that if you guys make a comment in the chat, we are going to pick at random after the show is over for you guys to get 12 comics.
Yeah.
So the comics, digital comics you'll be getting is Gwen Stacy, The Amazing Spider-Man, and these are all books from this week, pretty much. X-Men, Morbius, The Immortal Hulk, Hawkeye, Symbiote Spider-Man, Marvel's X, Kylo Ren, Thor, and then 2 issues, the first and second of Spider-Man Strikes Back, Black Cat. So that's pretty cool.
Spider-Man Black Cat Strikes Back.
Whichever that one's called, that's the one you're getting. So look forward to that.
JD, he mentioned about Kevin Smith's daughter being in the cast for He-Man. He has
is she?
daughter in everything, I believe. He got her in DC News. So I'm not surprised, but I'm excited because his daughter has good talent.
Yeah, and her name's Harley, which is cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, any other comments on that?
I can't wait for He-Man.
All right, and then we got the first look at Robert Pattinson as Batman, which I wanted to like more than I did.
Wow, that's so nice of you, Kat. I just call it hot
It was a very
garbage.
nice comment.
It's something.
It's hot garbage.
I didn't like. I pulled it up on the article, but it wouldn't load for me. I guess it said I had to download some app or something like that.
Really?
Yeah, it wouldn't pop up for me, so I never got a chance to see it.
It's hot garbage.
I mean,
My question is why?
it's kind of hard to tell from what we saw. It's a very dark footage, and it's just like a camera test, so it's not. I want to give it a chance. You know,
I just can't anymore.
I know.
No, didn't we get the Batman symbol? The one in front. How it looked? It kind of looked Batman Beyondish to me.
It did. I agree.
Exactly.
It did
Is there any way we can get a screen share of it?
Oh yeah, that's actually. A good
I love
point.
Serenity's comment. Serenity, I love your comment. There's nothing to like or hate. It's nothing. It was nothing. Serenity, I love you. Right now, I love you, Serenity. Yes, I agree with that statement. It was nothing.
Bran, are you pulling it up, or do you want me to pull it up?
I was gonna try to find it. Yeah.
I will say his chin is weird for Batman.
I have it. If you want me to just.
It's like
do
a-
it.
Oh, okay, then go ahead if you got it.
All right, I was just gonna pause the video.
And I'll click it up then.
Hold on. I'm just gonna make it play, and then we will screen share it. So this is what it looks like, guys. All right,
There we go.
and I'm gonna mute it. I hope. Here we go. I think this is how you mute it. So that's some of what it looks like. There's the
That
symbol.
doesn't look like Batman Beyond at all, Tevya.
Well,
Not at all.
It's angular. It's a lot more angular than we're used to.
Yeah.
See, I think it looks like that Greg Capullo, I think it was the New 52, where that was his symbol. It was like more of the gray yellow.
Yeah.
Anyway, it kind of looks like Daredevil in that.
Right? It looks like Daredevil.
Like Daredevil or like that really
I don't know.
old school Batman.
Manos, again, very wise, says
It is what
"Lot
it
of
is.
talking," so I think it's worked. Yeah.
You'll
is
have
true.
to see it in a real like action shot.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll pass on the movie.
You're passing
Well,
on a lot of stuff
yeah.
today, Chris.
I know. I'm in a naysayer mood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, stop
Yeah.
it. This is our anniversary. You gotta be positive, upbeat.
I'm positive. I can't wait for AEW tomorrow.
Oh my God. Besides the DC Universe TV show and AEW. All right. Well, we do got some questions, and this one's from Michael. Are there any Sonic comics that I should pick up? And that's from BrawleyCon.
There is only Sonic the Hedgehog is out, but if you want to read some really paperback of Sonic the Hedgehog when they had that cross, that was actually really good. And I think they had 2 times that they crossed over. So I would highly recommend you get that one. You'll definitely enjoy it.
Yeah.
Another or you gonna say any more, Brant?
I was just
Do you want any
that's all I was saying. It was a good one. So
The other questions from Tevya is Birds of Prey movie a bomb? I don't think it did as well in the box office as it could have and should have.
What did
Maybe.
it do?
It got maybe 15 million the first weekend, and yeah, it wasn't.
Million?
I think so. I'm gonna confirm.
That's not great.
how much it
Yeah,
was.
That's
comics
horrible.
are fun. Dick boy, lucky.
It was 19 million. So sorry.
That's still horrible.
Yeah.
Even for a February movie release, that's
Well, I
not
mean,
good.
Deadpool was February.
Yeah,
that did-
February. Yeah, and look what Deadpool did.
Deadpool was awesome.
Well, none of it. I mean, Kat, you're the only one that saw Birds of Prey, I think, right?
Yeah. And it's an okay movie. I think it's fun, and I think the ending is where I got excited. Like I wanted to see more after that. I'm like, oh, we finally got the Birds of Prey. It takes a while to get there, though. It's definitely not a perfect movie, but it's a fun movie.
Is that worldwide or?
That's I don't know actually. I'm guessing that's just the U.S. box office.
Bavarian?
Yeah. Another question.
So I waved.
Hello, Bavarian. We'll do one more question and then we'll get to the next news piece. Anyone seen the Castlevania season 3 trailer?
No.
Nope.
They're making a season 3.
That's Chris's answer.
I stopped one episode in. I didn't.
It was horrible.
I didn't like it.
Yeah, no.
So that's your answer.
Man, guys,
right.
give me something positive to talk about. I'm starting to hate myself.
Well, speaking of positive, we're gonna mention the Metal sequel has been officially
I hate
announced.
you, Kat. This is not positive.
It is. What do you think, Chris?
Shut up.
Wow.
You're so
Wow.
mean.
Oh, hard.
No, I think honestly, I'm interested because it's supposed to take place in its own universe now, right? Or is it supposedly still in the main DC universe? I think it has something to do with the end of Hell Risen is going to say what the DC universe is going to be after Heavy Metal, if I'm correct.
Heavy
All
metal.
I know is I get that
That's what they're calling it. It's called Heavy Metal. That's what
It's
they're
really called
Heavy Metal.
interesting.
I'm sorry. I was reading the comments. You're talking about the death metal thing
Heavy Metal.
or heavy metal.
Oh, that's the magazine.
Is it really called heavy metal?
That's what the article said. If
Oh,
I'm
death
wrong,
metal.
Death metal? Somebody
Yeah.
called it heavy metal in the article I read.
I don't think they could
Yeah, I
call
saw
it
something
heavy
about
metal.
heavy metal.
Oh, you should
'Cause
read
that's a
news on this
magazine.
article because it's
Okay. No,
they
that's
got it
what I read and for death metal, but okay. No, yeah, everybody's saying in the comments death metal. But
Yeah, I was about
No,
to say
heavy
heavy
metal-
metal's a magazine, like Michael
That's
said.
what I just
Yeah.
said about 3 times.
I said like you said.
Oh, I didn't hear you.
our anniversary episode's going with a hit.
we'll see. We'll see what happens with it. I don't. It's metal.
But it's supposed to be the sequel, to what happened with the end of Justice League. That's what it's supposed to be. So it's supposed to be after they've gone through whatever you guys talked about, this flipping door that they went through.
Mhm.
It's supposed to continue through that as the Justice League characters have aged. So that's what it's supposed to be about. That's the continuation of Justice League. So it's kind of like if you want to read their continuation of Justice League, well, you gotta read death metal. So and that's
No,
gonna
thank you.
yeah.
That's
So
how I
Superman
feel.
has
Okay.
long hair.
At
I will not be
wrong
reading
point in time. He should have long hair in the main universe right now.
Always, right?
Always. It's a good look for him.
Yeah, I
I'm
guess.
gonna check it out.
Super
It's
mullet.
an okay. Yeah, it's an okay look. It's interesting. All right, let's go to the next question, which is not for me and Mike. So we feel left out for sure. But which wrestler would you want in a DC movie or show, and who would you want them to play? For them, it's Finn Balor as Jason
Balor.
Blood.
Finn Balor.
That guy named Balor is going to be Jason Blood, and then that other
Okay.
person is
Kyrie
going to be
Sane.
Purple Flash for them.
Interesting choices.
Very interesting.
My choice, Roman Reigns as Aquaman.
Why?
That's basically
That's Jason Momoa.
I mean,
It's like you're asking Jason Momoa like.
I mean, yeah. I mean, he could. How about he's another Atlantean, so they can be related or whatever.
What about
That would
Okay,
work.
very well.
What about Aqualad in the future?
There you go.
That'd be
That
awesome.
works.
Isn't that dude old?
Roman
Why would
Reigns.
he be called lad?
That's true.
Hey, look.
He's a little old to be called lad. I don't know. I mean, I don't know who's good enough actor That would be.
That's sad. That's how much
It's
you want
hard.
to
There's so
watch
much-
wrestling.
No, that's
It's a hard
smart.
transition. Not many people can do it.
I'll tell you,
Rock is
Dean
the
Ambrose,
exception.
Dean
The
Ambrose
Rock can
would
do it.
definitely make. Well, actually, his name is John Moxley now. Would make for a good Batman villain. Several of them. He's a
Yeah,
He's
That's true.
Scarecrow.
I
So,
don't know.
You don't know.
I don't know. I'd have to think about that one. I'll come
We'll
back
do
to
a
it. I'll
topic
circle
video,
back
and me and Mike will not be on it.
around.
So look forward to that. Tevye, I didn't know about this, but he said, question any opinion on Superman, Lois and Clark show being
Oh, I didn't know about it either.
was it even filmed? Like, are you sure? I didn't hear. Like,
I didn't even know they filmed it yet.
I didn't think they did. They're just casting people, so unless just information was leaked. But also, like with all these DC shows, they were always leaked before they actually come out. I feel like that's why The Flash was popular, because a lot of people watch it leaked and they loved it.
It's true.
Sometimes it's strategy. All right, well, let's go to the next topic, which is the X Factor new costumes, and I guess we could screen share them because that's something visual.
Yeah,
Everyone,
I did it.
That would be interesting.
Oh,
as
since I
Luke is
saw-
old. Actually, I could
Um,
see that.
Yeah. So
we're gonna share that.
Those are some pretty cool sneakers there on the right.
yeah, the sneaks are nice.
yeah, awesome.
Who's buying
shoes.
them?
Like, I like some of the designs. Like, they're a little okay. It's just well that they have with the thing, like like with the X going across. I thought that was actually pretty cool. So, I mean, hey, I think he'll do a success. I mean, X Factor coming back. They look like Power.
I just want to see Rachel. She's pretty cool. So, although like she looks kind of weird at it, but I don't know. I'll probably give it a shot. Those are all the.
I was gonna try to get them bigger.
Yeah, I couldn't. I don't know. It was kind of a blurry image.
Yeah.
No, I see it
It
perfectly.
won't even enlarge for me, but yeah. So it's interesting. I don't know. I don't like prodigies. That's the one that I really don't like.
They all have gears on them.
Yeah, Dawkin. It's a weird look for Dawkin too.
It's a weird look for all of them. Bro.
It is a weird look for all
I
of
like
it.
the colors. I think that pops
Yeah.
out, which is cool.
The colors
and-
really
and, like,
stand
They
out.
look like Power Rangers.
The sneakers are
Thank
great.
you, Mike.
Yeah, they
It's
do.
It's
I
definitely gonna give them their own kind of unique look. So
They're just trying to go on the runway in Krakoa. That's all they're trying to do.
is that what they're trying to? Okay.
Yeah, they are. This was a question way back, so I'm behind. So I've been trying to keep up with these questions. But Serenity said, this is go back into the Eternals comment, but they just pretty much said that there are gay Chinese movies, like, and they name a few. But the thing is, like, there's gay movies in Japan. Like, that's like a genre. I'm talking about mainstream. They don't really have it because it's more of a conservative country. So that's why it's like different places they're trying to get money from. So, anyways, moving on to the next topic, which I guess we could do our show topic, which is Batman miniseries coming out for Batman the Anime series in continuity of that show with Paul Dini and with another writer. I think it's Alan. I forget his last name, but he also was a writer on the show. So what do you guys think of that?
I'm excited. I can't wait to read the mini, honestly.
It's digital, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
but it's
first,
also
I
coming
think.
out printed after. So I'm going to get the printed. I'm not going to read the digital.
Yeah, forget that digital crap. Same thing. Like,
Well, because
I-
I think it's better that way, the physical, because at least this way you get a lot, like you get a book size. Digital, you only get like 2 or 3 pages, and then it to be continued next week kind of deal.
right. So you see, like, wouldn't that be cool if they released something like that on the prestige format? Like, make it big, make
Yes.
it. The artwork in that would be absolutely beautiful to see that. I would love to see something like that.
Oh,
And I bet people would pay for that because so many people have watched that animated series.
Oh,
you know?
yeah.
right?
It has all the
I would.
characters here too. It's
Mm.
Tim, it's Barbara, it's Nightwing, it's Batman, and I think that's cool too because it kind of touches on each generation of that show. I can't wait. I'm so excited for that.
I wish it was over. Now that Mike said that, I'm like, oh man, I wish they did do it oversized because they do have that format now. Shoot, DC, why are you messing up so much?
Yeah, it's like, boy, let's release something really awesome on digital format first.
And not even make it oversized when it comes to physical. Oh, DC, come on, guys, wake up.
Yeah. But it's still exciting.
It is
Oh
cool.
yeah, I'm
Pumped
still
for
very
it, yeah.
excited for it.
Absolutely.
All right, let's go to another topic, which is the Generation Zero one-shots connected to the new DC timeline. A lot of people still want us to talk about 5G for some reason. Every week we keep saying, I got nothing to say.
Super Bowl.
It's super, what?
Since the Super Bowl, they've been talking.
Oh, since the
about.
Super Bowl. I thought you
It
said
was
it's
in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, it was actually on
Yeah.
TV. They paid for an ad. Yeah, no, it's been a while. I would say even before that. I would say since New York Comic Con they've been axing because that's when the rumors started.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
So,
But
but you get Bendis connected to some of this stories too,
And the enthusiasm dies, right?
right? And so and then, but I guess you'll get, I don't know, and then you get one of the stories that continues right off of the Wonder Woman issue, right? So that continues off of that. So
What I'm confused about is like there's Generation 0, there's Generation 1, there's Generation 5, which is the 5G thing. What the heck? I don't understand. Like
I think they're all like different timelines or something.
Yeah.
Like that.
Okay.
Yeah, because each
That's
one
what's going on.
spotlights before a certain crisis or a reboot.
Right. Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. Chris is right. It takes place
I
in
don't
a
know
different
why.
crisis or different time period.
You'd think they'd learn after the new 52, but nope. Now we're going, hey,
So-
forget 52. It's 5G now.
Yeah, so Generation 5 or 5G, whatever, that's going to be like the main timeline once this is all done.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I don't
For the
care.
next 5
I
years.
don't care if Wonder Woman showed up 2 years early. I just don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, why
it's
do
like-
I care who was first? It really doesn't impact
It's-
the universe that greatly.
Yeah, I mean it's like 80 years too late to pull that one out, right? I mean it's cool that she's getting more spotlight, and I like some of the changes that they're making as far as the history with like Superman's parents and explaining why the Justice Society came together and stuff like that. But it's just ultimately, I don't know.
Do you
It's
think
just-
this is a crucial point for DC right now?
I think
No.
DC needs to stop. I really do. They went from rebooting every 20 years to every 10 years
It's-
to 5. Now it's like, what, 3 since Rebirth?
I think they're confused.
Yeah.
I think they're
Oh,
just
yeah.
confused.
It's like when Marvel was doing Marvel Now, Marvel Now and Again,
All
Marvel,
the-
all that stuff.
different
It's kind of,
Marvel.
yeah, exactly. It's kind of the similar thing. It's like, okay, let's try this. Oh, that didn't work, so let's try this. Okay, that
At
didn't
least
work.
their universe stayed the same. They didn't reboot the universe.
Oh yeah, so it was a
I-
little less of a mess in that regard.
Yeah,
Yeah, they never totally rebooted. They just did different things. I mean,
Right.
but it's just like people I feel like are really keep on being disappointed with DC since the New 52, and the New 52's been out now for like a decade. You know what I'm
We
saying?
started this show pretty much.
Yeah. It's
In the
been-
new 52 already. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then you've had Rebirth, and now you're getting this 5G thing, and it just seems like I feel like this is crucial because it's like we've had all these cancellations of all these other books, and probably the reason why they're holding out is because of this 5G situation. And you get another book that's being canceled, which is Supergirl. Then not
we can
that
talk
that book
about
was
that.
probably selling all that great either, but it's just another character that people might like that they don't get a chance to read now anymore.
Yeah, because
You
I
know?
think they're not about the characters anymore, and that's such a shame. It's just more about like what events happening, like what's this big plot twist. Superman reveals his identity. He's like, no, can I just have a genuine story about these characters? And yeah, let's go to Supergirl for a second because I'm a huge Supergirl fan. I
I'm
haven't read
upset
her
they're
series,
ending it. Yeah.
but I haven't read her series in years at this point because they don't know what the hell to do with this character. And
I was
and
hoping
none of
they'd
the
put her
TV shows-
up. I'm upset because I was hoping maybe after this whole Batman That Laughs, it would be on an upward, we'd be on that upward swing again with Supergirl. Nope, no, we're just canceling her. Why?
I think the Batman Who Laughs is a show that we don't know what to do with her. But yeah, everything with the TV show just doesn't have a comic, which is still crazy to me. If you
Yeah.
can sell a TV show, how can you not sell a comic book?
It makes no sense. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's go to some questions here. So, unless we have more thoughts on Supergirl and
Just I hope when it comes back, and you know it eventually will, obviously, that it's good.
I hope that we're
No
all
Dio.
positively. I hope we're all talking positively this time next year about DC. Let's just do it 1 year at a time at this point.
I'm just upset Dial-H is over, is ending, because I really don't have any other DC book that I like. So
Teen
I'm
Titans.
Like, oh, yeah, Teen Titans. You're right. I have Teen Titans,
Yeah.
White Knight,
White Knight.
and that's it.
That's it.
I just
Naomi,
want to.
I guess, but that's not even there anymore.
I just want to piggyback off Sweet Exorcist. He says, I'm in the minority, but I love the New 52. It was a mature version of DC Comics that got me back into reading them. The characters have to grow. And I want to agree with Sweet Exorcist because at that time I got back into comics. And then what happened is the New 52 got me into DC, and then it just kind of fell apart like halfway through the rails, So
Yeah, the New 52, I think, had some definitely shiny. Oh, yeah, I think.
Yeah.
He froze out.
I was about to ask if that was just my.
gonna say
Yeah,
that.
I thought it was
I
Mike.
thought it was me at first.
But yeah, I think that the New 52, there was definitely, I had more favorites in there, like Green Lantern when that started, Batman, Batgirl.
Yeah, even Green Lantern right now. Grant Morrison that's another trip in and of itself with the Green Lantern series.
Yeah,
I missed the way Vendetti did it and Jeff Johns before him. He made me love Green Lantern, Jeff Johns.
I would
Yeah,
say at this point in DC, this is probably the time period in my whole life that I've liked the least DC comics, which is crazy.
Right? Me too.
Yeah. And I'm including the New 52. Like I was just saying, there was books I was actually excited to read.
Yeah, I was reading a good amount in the New 52, and it's like I was similar to Mike as far as DC goes because I'd only started reading DC a couple of years before that, and so it was mostly new to me. So,
fans of things will never be happy with changes. I was in a live stream with one of the other Bat fans and have ranted about the new Batsuit. I mean, we are always open to change, and I think we just criticize what we like and dislike. But yeah, we're always open for change, and if that's what you're talking about with the Batman Robert Pattinson suit, I'm not closing off that he's gonna be a horrible Batman because we saw one suit,
right? No, absolutely.
Giving our comments on what we saw.
Yeah, no, I wasn't gonna see the movie anyway. To be honest, I'm not the movie guy. I'm the gaming comic guy. So for me, movies are whatever. But again, we don't hate on everything. Again, it's like what Manos just said. New 52 wrecked DC fandom. It was one reboot too many. How many reboots is too much? Already New 52 was too much, and now we're going into 5G. And then if we're following the timeline that Doomsday Clock ended us with, where we're doing this, that, and the other thing, we're going to have at least another 3 or 4 reboots after this.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's too many. I don't even want to say New 52 ruined things. I think, yeah, maybe it was the start of it. But before, the reason New 52 happened is because DC wasn't selling any comics.
Right.
So whatever happened before that also was ruining things. We can't be like, in our minds, like nostalgia is such a big thing where it's like everything was pretty, everything was rainbows and butterflies, but it wasn't. So.
Yeah. And the crazy thing is New 52 had its fans, as we've documented right here. But Rebirth, brought a lot of people back to it, and they were on a solid track, and then it just kind of all fell apart because they just started doing weird things. So it's like you had it and then you lost it. I don't know, at least for us. So
yeah, for sure. All right, so we got a couple questions and we'll get to more topics. What did you all think of Ben Affleck pretty much as Batman? I mean, it was hard to tell because we didn't get a Batman movie and the scripts are really bad, so I don't really have a educated answer to that.
I was never a fan of the casting. I think he did okay. Definitely not my favorite Batman.
It was in the middle.
Yuck.
Mike, do you have opinion on Ben Affleck?
He was all right. It was kind of hard to see him as Batman, to tell you the truth. It's just not, he's not your, first person that you expect to be Batman. So it was kind of weird. And I think,
but I mean, did you ever think George Clooney would be Batman either?
No, but then again, I wasn't so like. I guess I just didn't care because it was like there were so far and few between like movies of
At that
superheroes.
time, yeah.
Then. It wasn't really that big of a deal. But then again, those George Clooney movies weren't that great either. You know?
Not at all. I mean, George Clooney was no K. Bruce Wayne, not so much a Batman.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Those movies suck.
It's all we had at the time, you know?
That's all you had.
It's kind of funny. Like, remember I mentioned to you guys on GroupMe on Messenger that Alicia Silverstone was like going to be at MegaCon.
Yeah.
I was Alicia Silverstone. I'm like, what the heck? Why would she come to MegaCon? She does all this other stuff. I'm like, oh shit, she was Batgirl. I totally forgot about that.
Yeah, she's going to be in this.
Fans, really?
Yeah.
That's why she's got to be there.
Yeah, but she's also going to be in this He-Man thing now. So,
true.
She's got a lot of things.
She's doing it to promote for sure. She wants to make that money.
There you go.
This is from Michael, I think. Have you read Tangle and Whisper? That's the Sonic book,
Yeah,
right?
yes, I did. Yeah, and it's actually a pretty good series.
All right, I'm just trying. Well, let's go to another news story. So, let me see. Pulling it up. All right. Next up is Cable and Deadpool team up issues coming up for Cable. So, money. Cool.
Yep. That's basically it. But I'll probably read that because I love Deadpool, and I would like to see how he teams up with the younger Cable.
It's the younger Cable.
It's the younger Cable because the other Cable is dead, Michael. Remember that.
Right.
Yeah. So it's going to be interesting,
remember.
like that first meeting with a younger Cable instead of an older Cable.
Yeah. I'm excited. I'm interested in seeing how this works. And just for anybody who doesn't know, you know, Cable's dating the Cuckoos, right? All of them.
Yeah.
All five.
That's weird.
I
That
mean,
is
I
gonna be
can't
weird.
understand how you
That's
can date 5 clones of Emma Frost, but I mean, hey.
So Cyclops' son is dating clones of Emma Frost.
That makes it extra weird.
He must be proud somehow.
I'm curious how they're going to write that, but I'm looking forward to
I
it.
can't wait to find
gonna
out how
be
they write
interesting.
that.
Yeah.
I saw one of the covers. I actually want the cover just because it looks so funny. I really want it. I might get it.
I'm interested in a Cable book. I think it's been a while, and I like Cable. We already talked about the news of Cable getting a book. We didn't even talk about Deadpool, but we're getting the issue, guys. The next question from Bavarian says, "Are you guys good at trivia? I just came back from trivia and did not know the comic questions. I suck." Well, we've done trivia in the past, and it was usually between me and Brant.
Yeah, I suck.
Yeah.
That one.
I was
Yeah.
terrible.
I'm just slow when it comes to trivia. Like my brain doesn't process things right. It's just like Spider-Man's first name is who? And I'm like, Peter Parker. Like it takes me a little while to process things.
Yeah, it happens.
I'm trying to look for. I just lost my place for all these. All right, here we go. We actually got like so many comments, so thank you guys.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Trying to find them all. Anyways, I'm gonna have to scroll up. So we're gonna do another news piece. So next up is that Green Lantern celebrates 80 years with a one shot. I mean, I'm excited.
Who's writing it?
Everyone.
It's
It's not a Grant
Grant.
Morrison. Okay, so maybe I'll read
I
that.
mean, I'm sure he's gonna do a story, but
Of course. But Jeff Johns will do one too then. And
I'll
same-
skip over that story
no,
and
Jeff
read all the
Johns
other
is.
stories.
yeah, same. I'm also like interested because it seems like they're not just celebrating Hal, you know, they're celebrating Jessica and, you know, Boz and Kyle and everyone
Yeah,
else.
that's what's going to be kind of cool about it.
Yeah, for sure.
yeah,
All right, let's go to
Spider-Man's first name is obviously Spider. Duh.
of course. How do you not know that?
Oh, damn, I'm stupid.
I don't know why I can't find Bavarian.
Serenity. We talked about it. I think it was on one of the covers.
It was a solicitation. Yeah.
It's in
or something.
solicits also what it's like to be dating all 5 cuckoos and how crazy it is. Yeah.
He must feel like he's the luckiest guy. He's like, yeah, man.
But he's dating the same girl.
I
with
Hitting
know
all
that.
five
personality.
girls the same way.
I feel bad for those cuckoos though, because they're just like probably so like jealous of each other, and it's gonna make some toxic relationship for them.
I cannot wait to read this book. I've never been as excited to read a Cable book as I am right now.
Oh my god. All right, well, let's go to the next question. Unless we have more. I know it's just me and Mike who want to talk Green Lantern. Supergirl canceled. We talked about that. Man-Bat's getting a series this May.
There it
We're
is.
talking about DC. Oh, this is the wonderful picture. Aren't they supposed to look different? Or are they not?
They are. There's some underneath that you don't see.
Yeah, it's cut off the image.
They're not as important. They're definitely,
Look at him. He's like, hell yeah, I'm the man. That's what he looks like on there.
Yeah.
But the Man-Bat book, when I was reading it, I'm like, this is the exact book of Morbius. This is exactly a Morbius book, but in the Batman world. That's what I looked at it.
Wow.
He's got a good Cable package, Real Mano said about Cable and the Cuckoo.
That's awesome.
Oh, God.
He's got those premium channels and everything.
Everyone wants Cable. This is a question from SM Down. For me, I guess. How much do you have like Folly Daughter planned out? Do you have 5-issue comic already written, or write each one comic by comic? I mean, I plan out by arc. And right now I have 8 issues fully written. And then I have the next arc planned, and then future arcs planned as well. So yeah. All right, let's go to some more questions. I finally found my freaking place. But thank you guys for all these comments.
I think that's the one thing that StreamYard is bad in. Like, you can't figure out your place in the comments. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to find. To go back. Like, I wish you could like highlight it and stays like you don't lose your place for somehow, you know?
I wish. I mean, it took me a good 5 minutes to figure out where I was.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Man-Bat. I just wanted to say, like, yeah, that shows like how decent. Like, that's not a character I'm gonna get excited for. Who is like, oh my god, I need a Man-Bat series. That's amazing. Like,
it's a Morbius book.
It is definitely a Morbius book, but Marvel comes out with so many more books where they're allowed to come out with a Morbius. DC has not many, so it's a little harder.
And out of all books too, it's Morbius. I mean, it's Man-Bat. It's like not even a major character. It's like, hey, let's do Man-Bat, you know?
It's crazy. I don't know what they're thinking. All right, let's go to next thing, which is new Valiant Shadowman series. That was actually announced yesterday. So let's Michael, I'm sure you got.
Yeah, I was actually very happy to hear that they have a new Shadowman volume that's coming out, because I remember reading the volume months ago that they were going to make a new Shadowman as the months progress. So I'm actually really happy to see where the story is going to, where the new story is going to lead on to from what we saw last time. So I'm actually looking forward to reading that from Valiant.
Yeah, it's one of the first Valiant, in this version of Valiant comics that I read, was that first Shadowman series. So I was really interested in that series. I was actually reviewing that for Inc. Back in the day. But I think it's interesting that Cullen Bunn's going to be writing it too. So I'm curious to see what he does with the character.
Oh, this is a good question. Real Mano says, what's a good Valiant book check out? I've only read Faith. I would say the one that what were you going to say, Michael? Okay. Yeah,
I was just going to say
down there.
I'm just saying Exo Man of War definitely is the #1 pick.
Oh,
Faith, yes, is another good one.
What's that other one you read, Michael, with it was way back and he crossed over with Exo Man of War, the ninja. Oh my god.
Ninjak.
Ninjak. That's it.
Ninjak.
Good.
And the Eternal Warrior, Galan.
Oh my god, the first volume of Eternal Warrior. Yes, I love that one.
Doesn't the new Exo Man of War come out soon?
It comes out March.
Yeah.
I'm pretty
March?
sure.
I thought it was March.
I'm actually gonna check that one out.
It's
Yeah.
actually good. I have a good
Yeah,
feeling.
me too. I'm gonna look at
Because
that.
I read the original Exo Man War, and I like that. And obviously, Venditti wrote the
is
first
March.
one.
Yeah, Robert Venditti was awesome.
I
Yeah.
got to meet him when we went to go get. We went to the
Mhm.
Valiant booth, and we actually ended up. I got an Exo shirt. Mike got a Bloodshot shirt, and if you got a shirt, you got a gold Exo Man Award #1, and Rob Venditti would sign it for free.
Yeah.
So
It
we
used
both
to be
got
on.
it. He got
Yeah,
it.
it
He got it signed.
used to be on the wall behind you,
But the couch is now up here.
yeah.
I mean, the one good thing about Valiant is that you could pick up one series and it's complete. Like even if it's Exo Man War, it's always a very different run. It's very defined by a run, which is really cool. But the one I've connected with the most is that Jeff Lemire Bloodshot. Like that is a book I really loved. So I really enjoyed that.
Me, I
Oh.
was gonna say real quick. For me, Faith is one of my favorites from Valiant, and like when they first relaunched, I really enjoyed the Harbinger series and Archer and Armstrong.
And then what I was gonna say was I feel that Jason David Frank's Bloodshot did a really good job on the. They did a YouTube movie series. I think it was parted through Valiant and Bat in the Sun, which is why it's hard for me to see Vin Diesel as Bloodshot now because my mind is still set on Jason David Frank as Bloodshot.
I think Vin Diesel's is going to be a better one, but
I think especially because of Fast and the Furious and a lot of other movies Vin Diesel has been in that is a lot like Bloodshot. Yeah, definitely. It's just I wish they would have just stuck with that. Then, well, goodbye, Michael. Fine, I'm talking about your universe.
yeah, he doesn't want to talk about it.
I feel like they should have just skipped out on making the other one on the web series then and just gone with the movie.
I agree with that. Are you excited for the Bloodshot movie? I don't know if I'm excited, but I'm going to see it, and I hope to be surprised by it because I'm not like a big action movie person. Like I'm not a Fast and Furious, those type of movies fan. So I'm curious.
Fast and Furious is ridiculous. Actually,
Yeah,
That's going to be a
saw a
movie series
trailer.
that goes on forever.
Oh, for sure, because it has a franchise. There's a trailer where there's like a grappling hook for a car.
There's
Like,
in the
Oh, that was
toys
cool.
right now for the Netflix series.
there is a Netflix series coming.
I
Yeah,
had no
so-
clue until I got Tommy his Happy Meal.
That's crazy. All right, well, let's go to the next news topic, which is Mark Waid becomes publisher of Humanoids. I was surprised by that. What does that mean for Mark Waid's Marvel career? I feel like he's going to be really focusing on being an indie creator.
Good.
Yeah, I haven't read anything from Humanoids that I've loved, but I'm curious to see what's going to happen here. Changing.
Yeah, that's the one that has the whole Ignition line going on, right?
Yes.
It's like they launched the superhero universe. I mean, Mark Waid is a smart choice. He was instrumental with CrossGen, with Boom at one time. He's obviously known for his Marvel and Marvel work above everything else, I think. So yeah, I mean he's and Flash, I think as well. So prolific guy and a lot of experience, a lot of insight there. So.
Another question. Any opinion on the new Saw movie coming out? I actually haven't seen the original. I'm a big horror
there's a
fan.
new one coming out?
Yeah, I think they're making a remake.
Oh,
No, thank you.
Never seen one.
That's serious.
I saw the first one, which I mean, I saw a lot of them, but the first one for its time, it was really good, actually, really original. But then it comes to a point, just like every other horror movie, where it's just beat to death and it's kind of not the best anymore. So I don't know what you can do differently to make this appealing to a newer, a new audience again. I mean, does it really need to be rebooted? It's not that old.
So supposedly it's not a remake. I thought it was.
Oh, okay.
Let me see. New Saw movie, 2020. It's called just Saw. So
But there was
Spiral
a
from the Book of Saw is an upcoming. No, it is a 9th installment. So that's even worse. I feel like I'd rather have it be a reboot. Saw is the new horror classic.
No.
I wouldn't say it's. I mean, that's hard. I do think people go back to Saw and say, okay, that is a definition of a gore porn or whatever it's called.
I mean, I definitely think it's up there with like horror movies of the day. You know what I'm saying? Like people know what Saw is because I'm sure they've seen the movie. You go to Universal Horror Nights, like most of the time they always do a Saw house. So people know the franchise. It's just it comes to a point where it just needs to stop. You don't need any more of that type of movie.
They had Jigsaw, but then you can say the same thing about Halloween, and then it recreated itself, and that last Halloween movie was really good. So,
Right.
Yeah, I wish we could say that for Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street. Those remake / start over swing.
None of those.
But I do.
Not
It's the only movie I've ever walked out on. I was sitting on
Which
a
one?
Friday the 13th. I walked out.
That's the one with Dean, right, from Supernatural. Or was
No,
that
the
after
other
him?
movie. That was the other movie. That was Was he in Friday the 13th?
He was.
I feel like he was in that Valentine. He
was in a few movies. Dean made it into a few. I forget his name. Which one?
Jensen Ackles is his name.
No, other guy.
Oh, Jared Padalecki.
Jared Padalecki. Yeah,
that's not Dean. Then
He is in
No, that's
Sam.
He is. Daniel Panabaker was in that movie too. Wow. Okay. Very interesting CW stars. But all right, we went off track. We're going to talk about Jason Aaron on a King Conan title, and Michael wanted to discuss that.
Yeah, like I was saying, for that to, in a new comic book, like I'm trying to figure out, I heard the name Jason Aaron from somewhere.
On Thor.
Thor.
One of the big ones.
Thor?
No, I couldn't remember, but I was just saying, okay, now that you brought it up, I'm actually very interested to see how he's going to write Conan.
It's right up his alley.
Something interesting.
He had a very long epic run on Thor.
Yeah. I feel like what else has he done that relates to it? Trying to think. Anyways, Thor is the big one. All right, let's go to the last news piece, which is that Luke Skywalker gets a yellow lightsaber in Star Wars. And unless Tom Brandt, did you want to say something that I missed you for something?
Me? No.
I thought you put your hand up.
No, I was going whoopee on the lightsaber.
Oh,
Yellow
okay.
lightsaber,
I only
baby.
got the last part.
Sorry.
Yes.
Because in the uncut Return of the Jedi movie, at the very beginning of the movie, Luke is just assembling his new green lightsaber. So I'm guessing the yellow lightsaber is going to be his segue between the Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. So we won't be seeing Luke with his classic green lightsaber until we get to Return of the Jedi. And how is he going to lose his yellow lightsaber then? It'll
My
be
thought
interesting.
was that it's connected to the last Star Wars movie because Rey got a yellow lightsaber in the end. So are they trying to answer those questions?
The thing with Rey's yellow lightsaber was, and I hate this because I'm going to sound like I'm a smartass because I looked into Star Wars. Jedi Knights that have the yellow lightsaber are not considered Jedi Knights. They are the guardians of the Force and the Jedi Order, and that's why their lightsabers were yellow, and that's why Rey has a yellow lightsaber at the end of the Star Wars line. So she's not a Jedi Knight. She is going to, it's something along the lines of she's going to be a guardian of the Jedi orders and the Force and whatnot.
Well, Tevye says it doesn't matter in the end, but it's a big part. That's
Tevye
going to be a big part of the story.
Tevye doesn't like Star Wars anyway, so it doesn't matter in the end for him. For me, it does.
All right. Well, those are all the news pieces, and we lost Michael again. Right as
it mattered to Michael. It mattered to Michael that Luke Skywalker's lightsaber was.
Doesn't matter to me. I don't care what color lightsaber he has.
I mean, it really doesn't matter what color a lightsaber is. It's just a crystal, honestly, in the end of the day.
matters. I always thought, and I've said this in the show before, I always thought before I saw Star Wars that it was like a moon ring, where it was about your feelings. Which is
Wouldn't it be cool to have a lightsaber that embodied your emotions? So when you're mad, it's red. When you're happy, it's like green.
Exactly. That's like, like you've turned to the dark side. It's like
red.
I know what it is. Let's be honest. It's kind of what I bet George Lucas was like playing with his moon ring. He was like, "Oh, that's a cool concept.
Yeah,
red.
man,
that's
great."
I like that. But I won't steal too much. Like you'll have to find the crystal, so we won't steal too much for the moon ring. He didn't want to get sued by the people who made moon rings.
There you go.
That was it.
Exactly.
All right, Mike, it's your segment, bud.
All right. Under the radar time, where we're going to talk a book that we read. So my under the radar book I want to talk about this week is the milestone issue of Sonic the Hedgehog, issue number 25. Why are you laughing?
Who?
Just that I think Brant was laughing because of just the segue you went to your under the radar.
It's all good, Michael.
Oh, I thought
Just
my
ignore it.
connection was acting up or something.
No, you're good. You're good.
Okay. So anyway, so Sonic the Hedgehog issue number 25. It's been a long while since we've read another Sonic book because the movie recently came out and they were focused on that a little bit. And I liked how they went back to the Zoombot story where Starline brought in the Sinister Six to the universe with Dr. Eggman. And we see that this metal virus that is happening with the Sinister Six who wants to take over Dr. Eggman and Starline, controlling robots and whatnot matter. So as they both Eggman and Starline, they ask Sonic and his friends for help. Sinister Six now has the Chaos Emeralds, which is like super powerful, and they could take over the whole land, which is why it's so powerful. And they could command thousands of Zoombots. Also, that whole plan of how to stop this metal virus from spreading. It was like so much in detail. Huh?
Yeah, I think you like
you are. Because I heard something about Zumba, and I'm like, there's no way Zumba's in the book you're talking about.
No, Zoombot. Zombots, okay. However you say it.
I think the connection, like, put that word together, and it, I don't know, you're skipping a little, so that's why.
Hey, you're good. All right. Is it better now?
I mean, we could hear you.
Sort of. All right.
But
well, anyway, just to end it, you have to read the book to find out more information about more of the metal virus and how they have to come up with a plan for it to stop spreading and to get the Chaos Emeralds back because the Sinister Six is causing massive destruction, and that's where it's to be continued. I thought this issue was excellent and amazing artwork as always, and glad to see that Sonic the Hedgehog comic is back in session for me to read. So I'm going to go to Brant, under the radar book for you this week.
Mine is Dejasaurus number 3. I'm really still enjoying this this particular series because it's still centered around the new people in power trying to take out her entire line, and it's just progressed. Like at the end of last issue, they had sent Banthas, I think they're called Banthas, to attack them, and they were just trying to kill them out by like just not so it wouldn't be tied back to them. But now, because that failed, they're like, just send the warships after them, kill them all, wipe them off the planet, and it's the battle is heating up because now Deja's trying to get her entire line, her entire family together, safe, and at the same time they're trying to fight off this entire armada of ships that are coming at her. So it's a really good read.
All right, let's go to Kat.
Mine was the only one I was able to pick this week.
Wait,
hold up. Yeah.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. Just to answer Sweet Exorcist, what company puts out the Sonic comic? Publishing brings out Sonic. Okay, so go on, Kat.
Yeah, so mine was no problem. Mine was Hawkeye because it's the only one I was able to pick, but I did like this issue. And I don't know, I feel like it's a fun book. It's getting better and better for me. I like the twists and turns they're going with Ronan. It's funny, and I think it's a good tone for the character.
All right. Short and sweet. Okay.
Oh, Hawkeye.
Let's go on now.
Brant wanted to talk about Hawkeye.
I'm sorry. We can talk about it later.
No. I mean, we're on it.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I like the issue. I like a lot of the stuff with him and the girlfriend, and the kid. That whole sequence. Every time those three were on together, it was hilarious. And I love that it's both Black Widow and Daredevil that figure things out, and it's playing into some interesting what do you call it, face-offs there. I can't wait to see Daredevil and him, dealing with this next issue. So that's all.
Okay. All right, cool. All right, let's go on to now, Mike. Your under the radar book this week.
It continues to be Dollhouse Family, issue 4. Really great book. It's just, this house is just creepy as all can be. And we get to see the house kind of get passed on from, I guess, generation to generation. At first, you got to see the little girl. She had it. Her mom wound up, I guess, getting killed or whatever it was. And now the girl grew up, and now her daughter's interacting with the house as well. And the cliffhanger is absolutely outstanding, but it's a book that you have to read. Like, I don't want to spoil it. It's just really, really good. And I have a feeling like this book would read really well in trade. So I definitely recommend it, but it's such an awesome read. I love this book.
If you want to make a book for Mike, just get a creepy house. Like, that's all.
Dude, yeah. This is like the key house. This is like Lock and Key, but like a miniature version of it.
I told you, right, Mike? And now you've Lock and Key. Have you finished it, though, yet?
Oh, yeah. I finished Lock and Key this past weekend.
I've been out of chat, so I didn't know. So now you know for sure that this is Joe Hill. I love Joe Hill. This is classic Joe Hill.
But yeah, it's good, man. It's just like, instead of keys, it's a little dollhouse with living people inside of it. And like I said, I didn't spoil anything because I really want people to read this. But pick it up in trade when it does come out.
I recommend it too. I love this series.
I'll definitely check it out, I think, in trade. It seems like a cool book. I'm sad it wasn't on my radar with issue 1, because once you have a book passes so many issues, you're just like, I want to go back and read it, but like, where's the time?
The beautiful thing is it's a mini, so you'll be able to grab the.
Oh, is it? Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's not ongoing.
You'll have to let me know if it sticks to landing.
It better stick to landing. It's Joe Hill.
Let's see. I mean, I actually like the
Chris,
basket full of heads. I didn't like that from the beginning.
Yeah,
so I think it's, he does well with his endings.
Mm-hmm.
So I think
you're. Right, so Chris, we're your last one for
Michael's very delayed, so
Michael, you're delayed. I'll do mine. Leave this and come back. Leave and come back because you are too delayed, and everything's cutting off everywhere. My book goes to. I actually was between this or Venom. I love Venom, but this book I like more. Spider-Man from the Gameverse, The Black Cat Strikes, issue number 2. Again, if you played the DLC, you already know where the story is going, how the story is going to end. And now my head is in frame. I love the art in this book. I love the story. I love the extras that they threw in to this book that they didn't show in the game. I love the flashback where Spider-Man and you're kind of reminiscing Spider-Man and Black Cat's relationship from the beginning when they first got together. Now you're jumping into the present where Pete's back together with Mary Jane and Black Cat's now back in his life. We're not sure if the baby or her son is really Pete's or not. And Pete wants to help her because Pete's not sure if it's his son. We who played the game know the answers already, but those of you that haven't played the game, no spoiler. This is a good follow-up issue.
Yeah, I liked it. I read 1 and 2 this week because you guys told me to read 1, and you said, "Oh, if you like Felicia, you're gonna like this." And for me, I feel like she is written so well in this book. It's like better than the main Black Cat series. I just love her personality. I love how seductive she is towards Peter. I just love. I love how like. Obviously, we don't know, but I love how it could be possibly his kid. And then I like how Mary Jane is jealous of the whole situation. Like, she tries not to be, but she really is kind of, you see her at the end and she's like, oh boy, this is great. You know,
You should really check out the game series, the first volume, and Velocity, Mike.
I thought you meant just get the game.
Yeah.
No, I'm like,
yeah, and I don't have a
PlayStation
PS4.
3.
No, I meant the comic. I know he doesn't have a PS4. So
I didn't like that first series because it had Mr. Negative in it, and I hate that
And that's
freaking
the game.
character.
Okay,
I
so
hate
that's
him.
the game.
Yeah,
Okay.
you probably, if you didn't like the first one, I don't think you'd like the second either. The second one wasn't as good, I don't think.
Yeah,
Right.
no, it didn't pull as strong, but this one is pulling up.
This one is really good, and I love the dynamic between them two, and just she keeps on skirting that issue of whether it's Peter's kid or not. I mean, he tries to ask her in this issue, and she's like, "We'll talk about that later."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's like, dude, come on. But yeah, no, it's really good. And the art, I love the art in this book too. It's really nice.
All right.
Also, you go, Michael.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say before we go into like the big books, I do want to repeat that if you guys,
Wait, what was Chris's under the radar since I left?
Black Cat Strikes too.
Yeah, the one we were
Okay.
just talking about. Yeah.
Gotcha.
so before we get into big books, I do want to state if you comment in the chat once again, you get 12 Marvel books that came out this week and one that came out a month ago, which was the Spider-Man Strikes Back. So definitely comment in the chat and you'll get digital comics for that. So also access questions throughout because we were trying to make this a Q&A for our anniversary to make it somewhat special.
Special.
All right, so we'll go with Mike now with the big books.
Oh, oops. Sorry. There you go. I'm sorry.
Top five.
Clicked it again.
It's a very
all right, guys. So we're moving on to the big books. Once again, this is spoiler territory. So if you haven't read your books, which I hope you have by now, we're going to be talking about spoilers. And as long as we go with our big books, we'll be doing our top 5. If you guys want to, go down the line with us when we talk about our number 5 and you want to put your number 5, we'll try to give you guys a shout out at the same time. So the book that we're going to be talking about first, and this is, I read 2 more books, but this was one of the 2 books that I still have not read. And this is the Batman Pennyworth Rest in Peace issue. I didn't get a chance to read it. I'll probably read it tomorrow morning before I go to the comic book store. But was this book any good, guys?
It was.
Yeah, it wasn't for me. It wasn't like perfect, right?
Right.
I don't think it's something you need to like desperately buy, especially if it's a lot of money. But it also wasn't bad either. But also for me, because of how Alfred died and because of the structure of this issue, I don't know if it was as emotional either. Because like a lot of the characters, especially the Rick Grayson aspect of it all, there's not like a lot of bonding moments. It's a lot of like, I'm going to tell my story and walk out of a bar. They never bond. It's just like the way they structured it. So it wasn't bad by any means, but.
Well, Dick,
Was it one story?
it was
one story,
one
kind of.
story with other mini stories connected to it. So it was
Yeah,
like a
it's-
whole Bat family get together, like a family together time after he opens up a foundation in memory of Alfred. And then they're all together and they're all trying to get Bruce to realize, he has to be Batman. Tim starts it off with saying, I came into your life when you lost Jason, when Jason died, and I tried to be there for you and I put on the R and I picked you up. I won't do it this time unless you ask me. And he's like, no, I'm not going to ask that. And then he gives a toast and everybody does a toast in order. And it starts with to Alfred and then you get a flashback. Tim has a memory with Alfred. Damien's was, I feel, the deepest because Damien still blames himself for Alfred's death.
He had something to say. I feel like everyone else is just like, remember this? Like at least Damien had a story.
Right.
I feel like even though Rick didn't have his memories, he still had something to add at the end.
Right. You got that Nightwing story in the end.
Yeah, but Jason was just like, I'm not going to crucify you like everybody else. But while I'm at it and while I'm here, I'll still tell you, what you're doing wrong. So it's like, well, you just kind of did what you said you weren't going to do, but sure. But no, yeah, it was okay. It was like if you're a huge Batman fan, huge Alfred fan, you'll get it for that reason, just for the, just because you kind of love those kind of stories, but it's not necessary.
I don't think Alfred's death was necessary, but that's a whole different story.
Yeah, that's definitely a whole different story on that.
I just think at this point, when it comes to Alfred, I think now that this issue came out, like we need to let him go and let people miss him. So if he does come back or when he does come back, like people will welcome him back.
Yeah. What I didn't like about this book was how angry Barbara was.
Oh my God! Yeah,
Right? She has no
Yeah.
she was a
point
little
to
out
me.
of character. She was a little bit too frustrated and angry.
Yeah.
I also didn't like the art for her story, even though I thought the story was cute. It was like really puffy, and
Yeah, it tried to
like
copy
it.
her artwork from when she had the purple costume, I believe. They tried to, and it just didn't work.
definitely not. Like definitely not as good.
It looked more like Pokemon than that.
Yeah, honestly, like that's a good example. It's like old
Yeah.
school manga, Pokemon
Yeah.
looking, and I did not like it. And yeah, I mean, I agree with Brant. If you love the Bat Family, we don't get to see these characters enough in one room, so that was nice. But I don't think it's like something you got desperately buy.
It was nice. It was a nice issue.
We do have one quick question. You guys definitely keep coming with the questions, but just I know that half of us have seen this, but Lock and Key's TV show. People were wondering if we watched it. I have not seen it yet.
I have not had a chance.
No.
I'm on the second episode of it, so
I watched half of it so far. We're just doing one episode at a time. I'll say this, and I think Mike agrees, especially after reading it, that we're just a little bit disappointed that it's not a little bit darker. They toned it down for the Netflix show.
yeah.
Which you shouldn't do that with Lock and Key, in my opinion.
Right. I agree. It's
That's
still
correct.
a good show.
Right. I mean, you can be 14 to watch this show, and where it pushes it, like you can tell like they wanted to go, but they just could not, push the envelope enough to make it darker. And I think this show, just by the 2 episodes that I've seen, could be so much better if they pushed the boundary on it. If they made it like a what's the other one? Hill House.
Yeah.
Haunting of the Hill House.
Yeah. Like think about that horror aspect of it and making it like Lock and Key like that.
Yeah. It's like, were you disappointed, Mike, that the girl, and because this is his first episode, that the girl in the well wasn't a little creepier than she was?
Yeah, I definitely, she was too like clean.
Yeah,
you
right.
know? And I thought she actually looked a little bit better when she cleaned herself up wearing the black dress and everything.
Yeah.
It looked more like her there than it did when she came out of the well.
Yeah. Yeah. So there are flaws with it, but it's a good show. We're still enjoying it. It's just not quite what we wanted as fans.
And it is a season 1, so maybe as the show goes on, if it gets renewed, it'll get darker. Last question, we'll go to the other big book, is anyone read Wonder Woman 750? Plus, there's a new Wonder Woman book. We did read it. We've discussed it when it came out, so definitely go check out that show. And then, is anyone getting the new Black Label Wonder Woman book? I'm not.
I am.
Oh no, wait, I am. I'm gonna try the first issue.
It's the writer of Murder Falcon.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, you talked about that.
That's coming out tomorrow?
Tomorrow,
really?
yeah.
I didn't realize that.
Oh, I don't think I added that to our big books.
Yeah,
So,
I didn't add it to
That's
the
coming out
issues either. I didn't realize it.
yeah.
Well, we talked about it
I'm
now.
curious.
There you go.
Spotlighted.
All right, let's go forward. Now we'll talk about the next one. And next one was a book that actually surprised me. This was Gwen Stacy, issue 1. I actually liked this book. At first, I was really on the fence about actually buying it. And then I was like, you know what? Well, why not? It's Gwen Stacy. People like her. I was like, let's see what this book has to offer.
People I don't like her. But people
Yeah, and then like my comic book store threw in the J. Scott Campbell variant for me.
Oh, nice.
And so I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. And that cover is actually really nice. It's like got butterflies all over it and everything. And one of the butterflies has like Spider-Man's colors on it. And so it's really cool. Have you guys seen it at all?
I don't think I've seen that one.
No,
Yeah,
there's
look.
so many variants for this.
Hold on.
Oh, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and the Green Goblin ones. Yeah.
So
I have not
it's
seen
like it's really cool, and it's a little bit different from what he usually does, So I liked it, and I was like, "That's cool that they threw that in there for me." So, but this book was good. I mean, I liked seeing Gwen work with her father and being how she like helps with the police work and all that kind of stuff. And this book takes place like during the issues of Spider-Man. Oh, I forgot what it was now. It says it in the back of the book. Like,
it was before Ben died. Uncle Ben died, and then Uncle Ben died towards the end of the issue while Gwen was in the hospital with her father, and her father woke up.
Yeah,
freaking out because Ben
but
died.
I think this series takes place, like these issues are taking place between, I'm gonna pull it up real quick, between like Spider-Man's like issue 23 and like issue 30 or something like that. So that's where this story is being told at. I like the back of it too, like how it has like the Avengers.
Yeah,
in the back
I
of
like
it.
that too. Yeah.
Wait, show it again, Mike.
It's
the
like a little
Avengers.
short story where she's everybody.
Yeah, she's everybody.
What are you gonna say, Mike?
No, that was like, and then she was like Ghost Spider too.
Yeah.
I think for me, because I'm such a big Spider-Gwen fan, I didn't love this book, and I really wanted
powers. I knew it.
No, not even that. I think it's just for me. I think an issue 2 will be a lot better. I just thought she was very plain, and I understand like that's the point of her character, that she's girl next door or whatever. But there wasn't any defining qualities for me. It's like, all right, she has the perfect boyfriend. She, is trying to run for president, and I guess it does kind of go to shambles with her dad losing her leg, and I'm curious to see like where that's gonna take her. But it felt very like Scooby-Doo mysteries, and I don't know. It just wasn't my thing, and I'm gonna obviously get the next issue because it's Gwen Stacy. But we lost Mike. But yeah, I
Mike's having trouble with their internets tonight.
Yeah, I liked it more than I thought it was going to, because I thought I was going to feel more like you did, Kat. With that it was just kind of like this, and not that there's anything wrong with slice of life stories, because I do like slice of life, but I thought that's what it was going to be. It was just going to be a slice of life Gwen Stacy story, and it's like, okay, that's. But when I read it, it's like I like the fact that they showcased her intelligence, showcased her deductive skills, and all that kind of stuff that we. I think got played down back in the day, but we've learned to appreciate her a lot more over the years. And so I like that they played into those aspects of her. And then you bring in the Green Goblin, which was interesting. You bring him in before all that went down with Spidey and her and everything. And I thought it was an interesting retcon to make. So I don't know. I liked it. And I love the scene with Peter in the library, because it's just like foreshadowing of what's to come with those two. It was a nice little Easter egg. Yeah. Cameo appearance.
Well, we lost Mike. So.
All right, so let's go on to our number 5s. I will go first. My number 5 was Go-Go Power Rangers issue number. I'm sure Mike is super happy he's not here to hear this.
Yeah, he's like, thank God.
Super number 20.
My internet's going out. No, I'm kidding.
I like that this is starting to bridge the gap between Go-Go Power Rangers and Mighty Morphin. The Omega Rangers are beginning here. You have Tommy taking over as the leader. Jason still having to step in as a leader because Tommy's not quite there yet. I like that, because in the TV series he just became leader. That was that. He was the leader. In this, they actually show the struggle of him becoming the leader now. And then you have Jason, Trini, and Zach, who are going off trying to find the final Omega Ranger to join their group.
Mike came right at the great time. We're talking about Power Rangers.
And it ends with us finding the blue Omega Ranger, which we all know everything's going to go to hell with her in Mighty Morphin. So it doesn't look good. Oh, wait.
Yeah, I like it. You think? I like it the other way. I don't know.
No, this play's better. Well,
yeah.
Brad's gone. Brad's here again. Brad, come back. You're going to hurt yourself.
But yeah, Go-Go Power Rangers, I echo everything you said. What I love about the series is the interpersonal relationships, and I think they do a good job, but I understand why it's ending, because it's kind of getting close to where we are in the other series. So
exactly, it makes sense now. So that was my number 5, Mike.
Okay, so that was your number 5. All right, so I think my number 5 was X-Force issue 7.
And now we lost Kat.
What is it with you
left and right? X-Force number 7 was mine. Number 5. I really like that book. I love how this book really focuses on Domino and like the struggles that she goes through. It's almost like it's its own Domino book. Yeah, and it's kind of cool how her powers have been wacky, and you kind of realize now it's because of this copycat that's out there, and I think that maybe these people, these Xeno people, maybe cloned her, or who knows what they did, but it's like she's complete opposite. It's like she's white and black instead of black and white, and but it's kind of cool because she also has the powers of a Domino there with the good luck powers, so I thought that was kind of cool. It was a cool twist, and I love how Domino does that investigative work on
Sorry.
Wait, what's going on?
I'm sorry.
on how she's doing the investigative work on just like this person shot from this way, and this person, there's no way that this person could have shot this. And I just love seeing that at the end of it, of who that person was. I was like, damn, that's crazy. So good book. I really enjoyed it.
I love it. I love how both X books kind of spotlighted an X-Man or a X. Well, Domino was never really an X-Man, so it focused on two specific mutants. You had X-Men, which focused on Mystique, and then you had X-Force that focused on Domino. But I liked X-Force. I loved this issue. It was great. These are the only two X-Men books I feel that are solid each and every time they come out.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm wondering if her and Colossus might have possibly something.
Well, they have history.
They do have history. I'm wondering if their history is continuing now.
I don't know.
Because he doesn't have Kitty Pryde anymore.
Right.
Yeah, he has to get over that. So
in fact, she's under the ocean somewhere. So
her body is somewhere.
Yeah, the only problem I had with this issue was some of the art was a little off for me. Like
it looked like Rob. I didn't read the issue, but from Mike's panel, I'm like, did Rob Liefeld draw that?
Right, exactly. Like her arms are like way up here, and the scene with Colossus, like Colossus looked like the Hulk compared to her. He was so huge, it was just weird. It's
there's times where the art is good, and then there's times where the art is just not so good.
Right.
In this book, so I agree there. All right. So who else has to go with their number 5?
Me.
Okay, go ahead.
Mine's a book we already talked about, Hawkeye Free Fall.
Okay.
I
And
also have to go, I believe.
you have to go, Kat?
Yeah. And mine was Alfred, so we already talked about it.
All right. What about you, Michael?
Mine is Bloodshot issue number 6. And I saw this book to be a good issue. It did actually pick up from the last issue, where we get a little bit more about Mina's story, about how she is helpful with her powers of a very sick girl, Lucy. And we get a little bit of a backstory about her, as well as Dr. Dust, who actually is part of the antagonist of the book, where she plays like you would think she would play like a good guy, a good person, but she really is not playing as a good person. Like she actually shows her villainous side in this issue. And she just wants to destroy Edelon because she stole Mina away from her and everything. And there was like a whole full out fight. And the artwork was really good, by the way. And at the end of the issue, though, we get a little bit of that Bloodshot and Edeline romantic moment thing going on with each other. So that was actually more shocking. And it's to be continued. So definitely a good issue. Just want to read more of the issue to see what happens next.
We have actually a new person in the comments giving their number 5. So that was G3N or Genesis. Yeah.
Genesis. Oh,
nice.
Cool. Welcome to the show.
Yeah. We always love seeing new people and our old people too.
Yep.
We love seeing everyone.
Exactly. You're in, and again, if you comment in the chat, you're going to be put into our raffle for the end of the show. So Genesis just was put in our raffle.
In the raffle.
In the raffle.
To win digital comics. Guys ready for more comics?
Yeah.
All right. Let's talk about one that I hated. Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy. Not that. I didn't read
No.
that one. I thought it was the Birds of Prey.
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
we're
it is
getting
the
there.
Birds of Prey. I
Yeah,
got.
Oh,
we'll
is
talk
it?
about
Yeah.
that one. Don't worry,
Yeah.
we'll talk about that one.
I hated Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey. I got halfway through it and I said I'm not going to read this anymore.
Look how big
even
this
bother.
is. I
finished-
don't know what to do with it.
My God, it's the oversized one. It's an
Yeah, I remember I was
Wow.
talking to one people that work at the store. I'm like, I just don't know where to put this. Like me either. It's like I don't know what to do. Oh, we actually have a new commenter here. Radio Matt Gaming. Hey guys, wanted to stop by and say hello. Discovered your show a few weeks back. Keep up the great content. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Radio Matt.
It's awesome.
But yeah, I
Talking
didn't
about
like it.
Birds of Prey.
I didn't like it either, Mike. I'm gonna try issue 2. I made it to the end.
I
but,
didn't.
Man, it was just.
My thing is it's too like over the top and like
Ollie wants to sleep with everyone, doesn't he?
yeah, and I just feel like
So does
Really?
Cable. Why are we shaming Harley?
yeah, but you know,
You're ready to get the cover.
Cable
You're
has
ready to get the cover
girlfriend.
for him.
They're in a relationship. Harley's hitting on Power Girl.
Harley's trying to get into a relationship.
Well, she's
Harley
doing
has
very
history of
bad
Power
job.
Girl.
what's that? Harley have what?
Has history
History.
with Power Girl. They've done
Yeah,
team ups and stuff.
I just felt like it was just done like the way it was written. I just felt like it was too much. You know what I'm saying? Like what she was
I agree.
saying. It was just too. I don't know. It was just like okay, like it reminded me of a Deadpool comic. It was just like it's just too over the top.
Well-
It's just it feels like it's forced.
That's what Harley is a Deadpool comic.
Yeah.
Basically.
Harley is DC's Deadpool right now.
Yeah.
Although I hear like from what I've seen from Sam Humphrey's run, which I'm not surprised at all, it's a lot more emotional. And I think one of
That's
these
good.
days I gotta catch up with it because I love his writing. But yeah, going back to Harley, I didn't hate it, but I did not love it either. I like the endings. I'm like, oh, the Birds of Prey are finally here. It's like the movie. They show up for 10 minutes. So Harley, on the other hand, I didn't love. And this kind of goes back to like we'll talk about this with Harley and Poison Ivy's relationship and how undefined that is. It's just like,
Yeah, it's
they going out or are they
frustrating.
not going out?
I would like to know. Yeah, I would like them just to go out at this point because in this book and in Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy issue 6, it's like, are they? Aren't they?
Like, can't they confirm it? Like, they are going out.
Are they that scared to make Harley, be in this type of relationship outside of the Joker?
But she's been in it. She's been
Yeah.
in this relationship, and that's what makes no sense. It's like
Exactly.
she's in the relationship, but they just don't talk about it. It's so
Yeah.
weird.
And just like Poison Ivy kind of leaves after they wind up getting off to this island. She's like, yeah, we need a break.
I need
So
to break from you. Yeah.
I don't know if they get back together by the end of this issue or they meet with each other at the end of this issue. They don't.
It's just
No,
Oh,
that's
okay.
the
I know
end.
she's on
So,
the break. Right
it's
at
just-
this moment.
This reminded me too much of the Harley Quinn, the series, the main series from DC. And I was just I remembered I didn't like that and had too much of the whole what is it, the Harley gang or whatever it was. And-
Yeah.
they were in
Not
this
about her.
issue.
Yeah, the gang of Harleys. I just didn't like it. It wasn't my thing then. I thought this was going to be something completely different. Like I get that Amanda Connor wrote it and Jimmy Palometti. And I don't know if I ever say his name right, but I thought maybe it would be something a little bit different, and it kind of wasn't. It was kind of like the same thing that we've read before. So that's just why I don't like it. It's just not my thing. It's not what I'm into.
And I think
like
it's a
the
shame
other
that
Harley book more. I did like
yeah.
that one way more.
Well, we'll definitely talk about that.
Oh, yeah.
But I also have thoughts on it. But yeah, and as a Birds of Prey fan, like it's a shame, right? Because this is not Birds of Prey by any means either, and this is not what
Well, neither was the movie, so it makes sense.
Yeah, they're definitely going more for the movie.
Serenity goes. He thought Harley Quinn. What does it say?
Oh, here
I
it is.
lost it.
There it is. I
There
got
it
it.
goes. Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey is my number 3. Loved it so much. Harley back in the hands of her proper writers. And then he said, well, it's the same writer, so of course it'd be the same thing.
Well,
I
right now
get
they're
it.
not writing it anymore. So
Right.
again, Sam Humphries is doing the current one, so they've been off it for a little while.
I just thought when you see the Birds of Prey, like you would get something else out of it, you know.
Mhm.
So
I agree.
Yeah,
100%.
I agree.
you know, just because you get the same writers doesn't mean you have to write it the same exact way. You can have Harley maybe similar, but you know, I don't know.
Oh yeah.
So, but that's just me though. Like I said, if you enjoyed it, that's great. All right, so let's move on. Let's talk about the next one. So we talked about Go Power Rangers, right?
We did already. Yeah.
Okay, so that was the one we talked about. So we're gonna go on.
Hey all, came to this show from Comic Book Corner 2.0. Keep up the great work. I enjoy the various viewpoints from everyone. Nice to have new insight on these books from Sean Brown.
Thank you.
so much.
Thank you.
We
Yeah.
appreciate
nice.
that.
Or Shane. Shane or Sean?
Sean.
Sean. It is Sean. I was right the first time. Thank you so much.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Sean.
Thank you.
All right, so my number 4 is actually Venom issue 23. I
It's
like
been a
the-
while since that's been your top.
Yeah, well, it's because it's been on this whole Venom Island nonsense, and it hasn't been really as strong. But this one was kind of cool because you get to see Eddie Brock trying to survive. He wound up cutting off his hand, and he had to cauterize it, and he's trying to get help, and the symbiote's chasing after him, and then he goes and he reaches this tower. And it electrifies the two symbiotes that are joined together, which is the Carnage and the Venom symbiote. And they wind up splitting apart, and Venom or Eddie Brock falls to the floor. Captain America winds up rescuing him because he gets that signal out. And guess what they wind up doing? Nuking the whole entire freaking island where the Carnage symbiote's out and the Venom symbiote is up. And you're kind of just like, oh shit. So how are those symbiotes still alive? Because Eddie was not attached to either symbiote. So it was kind of neat. And then we got to see a little bit more of Dylan on how he's handling the little piece of symbiote that he has that's from that symbiotic dragon or whatnot from Null. So that was quite interesting there. So it was a good story, but really what made it was the end of it, because you're not sure how those symbiotes actually live. So that was kind of cool. I liked it. So real good. And Mark Bagley's artwork continues to be really nice on that book as well. All right. No, so we got Tevia's number 4 on there. X-Men.
I like that he only liked one part. It was the one panel. That was like such a small part of the book, but I'm glad you liked it. I'm sure we're going to talk about it.
All right, and then so Chris, I'll move on to your number 4.
Pennyworth, Batman, Alfred, Batman Pennyworth, R.I.P. The one shot surprised me. We already talked about it.
And Kat.
Mine was Alienated issue 1. I know this is also my chopping block, which we'll discuss, but it also was kind of a lower week for me this week. But I like that it was unique in the way that so there's 3 main characters, like 3 teenagers, and they're all sharing like a hive mind. They all read each other's thoughts because of this alien. And I like the unique look of that, how they did the text and the narration for it. But I don't know if the characters themselves have hooked me enough to read another issue, sadly. But I think the look and the creativeness is what brought it to my top 5.
Yeah, I'm still here, by the way. I just had to go off camera for a minute. Yeah, I read this too, and I think I felt kind of the same way. I enjoyed it. What are you doing to me, Chris?
I didn't know something else.
Okay. I enjoyed it, but yeah, I don't know that I'm invested enough to continue on with it either. But I did like the concept, and I like the joined mind thing as well. And what they did to that kid, I thought that was really interesting. It's like, oh man.
Yeah, but was it interesting enough?
Exactly.
Probably not.
It'll depend on the week. Yeah.
Yeah,
so
exactly. It will definitely depend on the week for me for when that comes out.
All right, and so what do we got? Michael?
Yes. Mine was Rye issue number 4, which is another Valiant comic book, actually. And it talks about how there's like a threat that's coming about, and we have more about the Red King, who is the Blood Father, that arises, and he wants to take the world under his system rule. And we learned about this with the new father in New Japan and all that stuff that Rai talks about in this issue. And the only way that the Blood Father will get his powers of destroying the world is if he destroys the offsprings and gather them. So because they were at Hope Springs actually. So we have Galad, the Eternal Warrior. I think that's how you say his name, who actually appears in this issue, and he's there to try to guide Rai, like telling him that you're not welcome here. So there's like a whole big thing that's going on with that, and they're only there to get rid of the offspring that Rajan can only get rid of with his powers that he has, and we kind of see Rai on the bad side that I think he's using Rajan to get these offsprings because that's what it seems to be, and he treats him very harshly in this issue. So as he tries to destroy the machines, we have a battle between Galad and Rai, and they have the Red King's reinforcements who come in to get the offspring for the Red King as that invasion happened. And that's to be continued. Interesting issue, definitely. And that's it.
That's it?
Yep.
All right.
Are you sure found out she missed?
Who? What's that?
No, I'm asking Michael.
Oh.
No, that's it. Funny.
Anybody who else hasn't gone for their number 4?
I think we all went. Yeah.
We all went.
Also, welcome to the 34 people watching. That is amazing. And once again, comment if you want to get 12 free digital comics, Marvel comics. So you comment, we'll put you on the list for the end.
All right. So let's see. What are we talking about now? We're moving on to Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy. This is the finale of this, right?
Yeah, it's the last issue.
So what did you guys think of that?
Way opposite. The complete opposite is Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey issue number 1. I love this miniseries. I love the twist in the end that the Poison Ivy that Harley's been running around with is only a piece of of Poison Ivy. It's not the original. The original's all jealous. It becomes this humongous fight. And the only unfortunate person that loses in this is Harley.
They are broke up again. Maybe.
Did they even date?
Are they together?
Were they dating? I mean, she was dating a piece of Poison Ivy, and I love how the piece is like, she'll come find you later. Just run away now. Go off somewhere. We'll see you again.
I didn't like this issue. I think because I've been following this train, I was just like,
I don't think it's a series. I don't think it's a series. I think it's DC not committing.
I don't even know what this book's about. That's the biggest issue. Is like, if you ask me what the theme of this book was, I have no freaking clue.
Harley trying to get closer to Poison Ivy. And unfortunately,
but then the ending is that she has 2 people. Like, I don't know. I thought it jumped the shark for me.
Yeah, it was okay. It was better than Birds of Prey number 1.
See, I like Birds of Prey more than I liked Harley and Poison Ivy. Like, at least I understood what it was going for. Like, it might not have been for me, but I understand people would like it. This, I don't know what they were trying to target.
I don't know.
We do have a question here from Tevia, and I think we're going to disagree with him. Yeah. Do you think Teen Titans Comics needs another reboot? Hell no, because it's been the best it's been in a really long time.
Why do you think it's still going on and it hasn't been canceled?
Right.
It's really well written book. It really is. Like, man, if more DC books are written that way, it would be a beautiful thing.
Agreed.
It's not messed up, man. It's just, you want her back where, you're comfortable. I mean, that's where Harley's been for so many years. It's something different. I like that they're exploring Harley away from Joker. And Harley's not exactly the Harley Quinn she was when they first introduced her. She's not exactly a bad guy anymore. She's more of like that anti-hero / nut breaker.
Well, I think the biggest issue why they moved her away is because it was an extremely abusive relationship. So
yeah, I think so.
I particularly would not want to read that. So, and I think honestly, media has done a really good job at showcasing her getting away from that. So I think better than the comics, the the movie and the TV show did a really good job.
But you know what's weird though? Okay, so what's weird about Harley is you get her in, and I hate using Heroes in Crisis, but you get her in Heroes in Crisis. Look how she was there. And you get her here in her regular book or the Poison Ivy book or whatever it is. And it's like you get her there. Which is she? You know what I'm saying? Is she
they flip flop
that character or is she the other character? And
goofball or serious, honestly.
Right. So it's like it's like Deadpool, for instance. Deadpool, he's always goofy, no matter what book he's in. You know what I'm saying? So if you're going to make her silly and goofy, you got to make her silly and goofy in every book. Not in Heroes in Crisis, all of a sudden make her this badass looking character. And
look at her in Detective.
Serious.
Look how she's doing in Detective right now.
I'm not reading Detective, so I wouldn't know.
Yeah, I think you're the only one reading.
Wait, was it Detective?
She's in Batman.
Batman. It was Batman.
She only had the cliffhanger in Batman.
I know, but looks like she's taking a more serious role in this one.
Oh yeah, I think she will. And I honestly the best Harley ever written is Injustice, Gods Among Us Harley. I think it's the perfect balance of humor and seriousness. So that's the Harley I would like to see.
Right.
We do have a couple of comments here. Do you all think the new character Punchline will hold? It's hard to tell, so we don't know anything about her. Axis, when Hell Arisen comes out, or when she officially appears in Batman.
And when everybody gets a chance to read Batman coming out tomorrow, and
but she's not gonna be in it much, so it's gonna be hard.
Sold out. It was ridiculous. It went on sale at Midtown, and it was gone in less than 2 minutes.
Well, on eBay, it's going for like $35 before it even came out, and I think that's crap. It's such crap.
That's the Sharks. They've done it with toys. They've done it with Nintendo Amiibos, and now they're doing it with comics. It makes perfect sense. Anything that's a physical medium that has a limited print run or a limited run period, it's going to happen. That's why Marvel Legends suffered for a long time until they started making more than one wave of the same wave, and why Amiibos suffer the same problem, but at least we have the Japanese ones we could buy. Video game collector's edition, same thing. If you can get it, if it's limited edition, you're going to lose it. The Animal Crossing Switch didn't even make it onto pre-order shelves, and it was already sold out.
How did we get to Animal Crossing?
Yeah, right.
I'm just talking about limited edition.
He loves Animal Crossing.
When it goes to Punchline, we'll all find out how that turns out once we know the character. For all we know is that book could totally go down in price again because the character sucks, or she's only in a couple of issues, or whatever the case may be. Everyone's speculating that she is the next Harley Quinn, the next girl at Joker's side, but that could totally be false, and we could be totally wrong about that.
And somebody just wasted $30 on that eBay book.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not doing that. But thank you, Black Knight, for being here.
Thank you for continuing to watch us for another 6.
Yep, absolutely.
Awesome.
Thank you.
All right, so let's talk about the next one. So we were talking about some Spider-Man, Spider-Man issue 39. So we get the continuation of the Jay Jonah story as they get to do a podcast with each other on the air, which I thought was actually really a lot of fun. You get to see that. Yes, they may have kind of made up, but they obviously still have issues with each other. It's really deep rooted in there. And I thought that was kind of cool how everything was bubbling up. And then at the same time, you wind up getting to see this plot take place with the Foreigner and Chance. And there's this bet going on that Chance has to steal one of Spider-Man's web shooters, and that made for quite a fun cliffhanger. So again, I enjoyed this story, and Nora Winters is in there going, "Oh, this is going to be good." She can't wait until things heat up.
I would kill for them to get the voice actors from the '90s Spider-Man cartoon to voice over that podcast.
Maybe at a Comic-Con.
Yeah,
I could definitely see that happening.
Yeah,
this book was. Oh, you go, Michael. You go.
No, go ahead, Kat. No, go ahead.
I'll go quick. I had so much fun with this book. I think Nick Spencer just gets how to write today's internet culture without making it sound preachy or like unorganic. It just feels real. It's like if you've ever listened to a podcast, especially like something that's not like our podcast, like a more of a legit podcast, but like it's all the we got sponsors, Grant. We got
I didn't
sponsors.
say anything. That doesn't mean we're not legit. It just means we're not successful.
This is brought to you by G Fuel. Okay, they're our sponsor. There you go, we're sponsored.
Oh, shoot.
Which one? In the comments, vote which one was worse. Me saying this is not legit or Grant saying this is not successful.
We're getting successful.
I have a G Fuel cup. Does that mean we're sponsored?
Yes, we are sponsored. We just got money from G Fuel.
There you go.
But anyways, it's more a podcast that has sponsors and after they get the money from them. So if you listen to those type of podcasts, it was kind of nice that they kind of poked fun at it. And I mean, going into the root of why this really was a great issue is the J. Jonah Jameson and Spider-Man dynamic. And also how you could see the other side. It wasn't just about Spider-Man,
Yeah.
It's like it's cool to see that.
That's what I love because he's like, it wasn't all untrue. And it's like, what are you talking about? And then you see this whole flashback of all this stuff that where he's threatened him and all this different things that he's done. And it's that's right. We are.
It was a great issue. I like the whole back and forth thing of Spider-Man and Jonah. And then there was just like getting great. And then all of a sudden things get all like heated up. And then everything just goes by like saying, well, you did this, but you said I was a menace. And then the whole thing of, I was laughing like throughout every page that I kept reading with J. Jonah and Spider-Man going at each other. And but the only way Chance found Spider-Man was when Foreigner gave him the coordinates to actually find him, which he actually did in the last page of the issue. As he breaks in, and that's to be continued. So I'm really getting hooked on the Amazing Spider-Man series. It's getting really awesome.
I didn't know there were Spider-Man PS4 and
on the radio.
Oh, I didn't know that either.
I didn't know that. Yeah,
Learn
that's funny.
every day.
Yeah, I haven't actually played the game, so it's over there.
You have the PlayStation. There should be no excuse.
Play.
I will soon. But the only thing I didn't like was the Sin Eater little thing at the very end.
Yeah, I mean, they're always pushing it. Yeah. We'll see.
I did not get my number 4, by the way, because it was off screen. But it's a book where I talked about Spider-Man and Black Cat Strikes. So
nice.
All right. So now we're moving on to our number 3, and my number 3. I don't know. Somehow I got my books mixed up. I don't even know. It's like I thought my number 5 was Gwen Stacy, right? That's what I said. Yeah. And then my number 4 is X-Force, but I felt like I talked about X-Force. We did talk.
So we're on number 3.
Right, but then I talked about Venom Island, and that's technically my number 3.
What are we talking to? I don't know how that happened, but you did talk about all that stuff.
Well, how did we talk about X-Force when that was? I don't know.
Maybe
but
you got it mixed up. Yeah.
We talked about Gwen Stacy, and then maybe you got it mixed up because we talked about
Gwen Stacy. Yeah, Gwen Stacy was the book we talked about, and that was my number 5.
Okay. So you just jumped ahead. Yeah.
X-Force. Number 3 is Venom Island, and now we'll move on to Brant with his.
My number 3 is X-Men. I love the stuff with Mystique. It's been building up since the beginning. We knew that she wanted Destiny back, and we knew that Charles was holding that promise back. But I love seeing the flashbacks here as we see these conversations with Destiny and the conversations where she's trying to get her wife back, which I thought was it was so powerful. It's like, I have to have her back. You promised me Destiny back, and Charles is like holding her back because she can tell the future. And then you end up with that line of, if they don't give me back, burn the whole place down. It's like, oh, okay, crap. It's just like, and Mystique is the one that would do that too. So it's just, I thought it was really powerful, just that whole sequence, that whole issue with her. And I want to see where it goes with her from her perspective, because her being there and in this whole dynamic is kind of shaky to begin with, right? Because her history is so spotted with the X-Men. So
I think I like the Mystique stuff a lot. I'm not a hardcore Mystique fan, so I don't know if I had that much of a connection in that regard, but I like where this is going. I'm really excited for the tension. Also, this is actually the first confirmation I think we've had that Mystique's queer, so that was cool.
It was always kind of I'm sorry,
lingering. No, you go.
No, it just bouncing right off that. It was always kind of like they were very close, but they never kind of actually said it. It's kind of like Harley and Poison Ivy. It was that kind of thing. But yeah, I think that was the first confirmation.
Yeah, so that was really cool. But like even just like sidestepping that, just her emotion about that was interesting. I don't really have a connection in that relationship. So I think that's why I didn't make my top 5. I know for people that really love those characters, that must have been like if Kitty Pryde was, came out as bisexual. I'm like, oh, that'd be awesome. Because I've been waiting for that. I'm sure for Mystique, a lot of people would want that too.
It was a huge thing. I wanted to say Extreme X-Men. There was this whole arc where
I didn't.
I love that story. Storm and a group of X-Men kind of went on this journey to find Destiny's Journals or something like that. And so that was a heavy part of that story. And obviously it's she's a important character in Rogue's past as well. So I guess I had more of a connection because I read a lot of that X-Men era. So.
All right. So what was yours, Kat? Your number 3.
Mine was Hawkeye. We already talked about it.
Okay. Chris?
Amazing Spider-Man. We just finished that.
Awesome. Michael?
Mine was Robin Hood Vigilante issue number 4. And I was really glad to see Robin Hood back in the Zenescope comic book. And what it just really talks about, just to sum it up really short, is it focuses more on Greenwich when Lizette talks to her about trying to tell her that, oh, Robin Hood is a murderer and this and that, and you're running for this, and you're not bringing her to justice, and it looks very bad on you, that if you don't bring her in, you're just holding back all this stuff to bring her to justice. And they both actually made a deal on that, whereas Robin Hood is fighting off against the policemen and the robots, because the robots get a little bit too out of control and that want to execute Robin Hood, where the police aren't too crazy about that. So the robots take over the policemen and they go underground, both Robin Hood and this Met guy who could turn to this giant monster, whatever. And as they go underground, they meet up with a certain group that we saw issues back, and they're looking for a fight. And it left off at a very interesting cliffhanger to be continued. Very good issue. I love reading that Robin Hood every issue.
Very good. It's very good. Very good.
How many issues is that?
12.
It's the 4th issue, but I believe you mean volume wise or
No. How many issues is this series?
Oh, I think it's 5 or 6.
Okay.
The next issue.
Let's look it up. Robin Hood, what's it called?
Robin Hood Vigilante. Vigilante.
I think she knows how to spell vigilante.
Well, I was just helping her.
Thank you.
God.
Cover A. Let's see. Because if it's on
class for today.
I don't know. It doesn't say.
Wait,
Michael spell random words.
Hold on, I could look on the comic.
Oh, Brad's gone again.
Oh, on the comic.
Spelling.
Yeah. It's 6 issues.
6.
Oh,
and it was the last. It was the last Robin Hood that was 12 issues. I know.
Yeah,
right. So there's 2 more issues left until we end it.
Barry Allen says Zenescope's got some pretty ladies.
They do.
I wonder if that's what
They do.
their whole company is about. Was it the covers? Is that how they became popular?
No,
Absolutely. They became a little they got some eye candy on there.
Yeah, I don't think that was it.
No.
The stories, they were very deep.
The story, it's all about the stories.
Eyes up here.
Actually, Robin Hood was the story that kicked it off for me when it came to Zenescope.
And Godstorm.
Did Pat launch that?
Yeah,
Godstorm
Okay.
and Robin.
Yeah.
Hood.
Patrick
He did
Shan did
start
the Robin Hood story, and that it was so phenomenal. Then he kind of changed the scope of Zenescope. You
And
know,
he
did.
oh, no pun intended. I didn't even mean to do
It's
that.
a shame it kind of like went back to what it was since
Yeah.
he left, you know?
Yeah, now they got this like Beauty and the Beast one, or it's called
Belle,
or
yeah,
something
Belle,
like that. Yeah. So
I thought his stories were very. It was
it's all about hot chicks fighting some kind of demon creature. It's pretty much like
Yeah, there's never a deeper story than that. I really loved his Grim Fairy Tales. I thought you did
that
such
was
a
my
good job.
favorite. The
Yeah.
Scooby-Doo, yeah.
No, you did a good job with that.
all right. So did everyone do their number 3 then?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so.
All
Unless Brant did his, right?
Yes, his was the
Yeah, he
X-Men.
We have a customer
Alright.
at my shop that pulls and buys every Zenescope book and every variant they release. I believe it.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, no, it has its fan base for sure. And
We
you know,
know-
we enjoyed Zenescope. I mean, Michael
Oh,
enjoys Zenescope, and we enjoyed it for a long time. We just kind of fell off after Pat left.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
there's really not that many Zenescope books each week. I think there's a maximum of like 4. And then if you count like variants, like let's say there's 2 or 3 of each.
There's
like
a lot of
8.
variants.
To tell you the
usually.
truth, my comic shop doesn't even carry Zenescope books anymore.
Oh,
No,
I have special
really?
order every
Yeah,
single
they're
time.
they're special order. Yeah, it's like you gotta if you order them for your pull list, that's one thing, but obviously they don't cover them. They don't.
My comic shop way back when I had a comic shop around here, I never even knew Zenescope existed. He only did it for special orders. I remember seeing a cover once, and that was it.
Yeah, I literally was the only one buying it at the shop, and that's it. So now no one's buying it, I guess. I don't know.
All right, so we're gonna skip to just go right to number 2 because we talked about Alienated already.
Yep.
So my number 2 book is actually 2 books, and it's that Black Cat story that we already talked about, the Spider-Man Black Cat Strikes issues 1 and 2, because I read them back.
Nice.
So I really enjoyed it. Like I said, overall artwork was phenomenal. Black Cat was great. I loved Peter. I loved the way he was drawn. Like everything about it was really well done. So thank you guys for recommending that to me. And I can't wait to read the next issue when that one comes out. So Michael, we'll go on to you now for your number 2.
Book we already talked about, Amazing Spider-Man issue 39.
All right. And Chris?
We talked about already the Dollhouse.
The Dollhouse. Don't get that dollhouse, man, because you'll be sucked in. And don't make wishes with the black room. All right, Kat.
Mine was Power Rangers. We already talked about it.
Brant.
Mine's a book we haven't talked about yet. Thor.
You broke the chain.
I know.
You broke it. You broke it.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Jeez,
Thor.
man.
I'm really liking this Thor series. I
Oh my
just,
God! With Beta Ray Bill, this
Yeah.
is right.
yeah, the Beta Ray Bill battle. It
Whoa.
was just, let's say
Just
that
out of my
3
top.
times fast. What's that?
Just fell out of my top. I read that in
Oh.
Gwen today for the show.
Yeah, that was such a good exchange, a good battle between them. Like Beta Ray is so mad at Thor that he willingly takes the power cosmic. It's like at first he thinks he's just trying to save him, right? And then he's like, wait a minute, you did this on purpose?
Yeah.
we got a problem, dude. And then man, he breaks Stormbreaker. Thor breaks Stormbreaker. It's like, oh man, poor Beta Ray.
He had to do it to get his hammer back. But did you
know.
think like he was going to get his arm ripped off?
I thought
he was
something.
holding
I thought it was gonna happen.
Yeah, I thought that's what was going to happen too. And it's like, oh man,
So
don't do
many
that.
stuff though. He lost an eye. He's gonna get his arm ripped off now too. Oh, you
No,
mean
not-
Beta Ray Bill?
Beta Ray Bill. Yeah, because he was.
Oh, well, he needs to lose some stuff then.
Beta Ray was holding Mjolnir, and Thor was trying to get it back. Like he was trying to, telepathically or whatever, magically get it back, and he wouldn't let go of it. So his arm was, So,
And that's why he shattered Stormbreaker.
yeah. So it was just, and now to end it, he beats Beta Ray Bill, but now Sif has come down. She's like, I've had enough of this, and it's
Yeah.
like, okay, now he's going to battle Sif, and it's just every issue. It's just it stacks on the next one. It gets better and better. So.
Right. And I love the opening page. And this was my top 5 panels, actually. That opening page, it shows you what it's like to be Thor. He's been alive so long that decades seem like an hour to him, you know. It's just like it's just like he doesn't even remember certain battles. There'll be epic battles that happen, and it's just like a minute of his life, and it doesn't even really mean anything. And you know what? Like, I don't think anyone's ever really explained that before, on what Thor's life actually is like, you know. And I never thought of it that way either.
It's I love that. It's reminiscent of the way Peter David explained the way Quicksilver's mind works with the speed, like everybody is going in slow motion around him. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of similar in that way. So I don't think that was a really powerful scene. And then like where he was battling Galactus, like Galactus was like, "No, you're not gonna throw off my power. I gave that to you." And he's like, "No, I took it." It's like, you can't control me. Just so good. Such good dialogue in this book too.
We have a new viewer. Ron P says Thor sounds like it's a great comic. So that's awesome. Welcome. And you are in the running to get those free digital comics. And then also, this is a question for you guys. So is Thor holding back, or is he just not strong enough to pull the hammer back?
I think he's losing his worthiness again because he's working with the Galactus.
Yeah, they've referenced it that like the hammer is getting heavier and heavier every time. So, and even Beta Ray tells him he's not worthy. Obviously, he still is, but it's something about since he became the Allfather of Asgard, it's slowly his worthiness has been fading. So it's heading somewhere. We just don't know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We lost Mike. So
that's all right. So continuing on, we already talked about X-Men. So let's go to Hellmount.
Are we still on
Hellmouth? Buffy.
Yeah,
number 4. Okay. So that's you and that's Cat and Brand all the way.
Yeah.
I like that they used the supporting characters in the Hellmouth. I thought that should have been this whole entire series, because instead of doing all these tie-ins and whatever they were trying to do, but I still don't love this event, but I thought at least the battle was cool.
Yeah, this was probably the best issue of this series, I think, so far. And it's still not, like you said, it's not the greatest. I think, like, the last issue of Buffy picked up, and that led straight into this, and that made this pick up. So it was, I wish it was better. And I agree that they shouldn't have separated them out like that. I think they should have kept them together, or at least some of them together, and just, I don't know, it could have been a stronger event, but this issue was solid because
but also there's questions in the end though, like why did Willow leave, and then like is she a Slayer? Like what happened in the end? Was that Willow, or is that the new Slayer? I was so confused.
I think Willow left, which
and
was
who's
weird.
That girl at the end?
I don't know.
Right, it was confusing.
It was a little confusing. The art's not as good as it could be either. And I don't know, like they left the thing with Xander open, so it's like what's going to happen there. We still don't know if, like, are there 3 Slayers now? Are there, what's going on?
There's a lot already, and we're not even like up to issue 10. Like, what are we up to on Buffy right now?
I think it was 12. I think the last
12.
Was 12.
We're just like under a year, and this is how much craziness is going on.
So we're on our number ones.
So you know number ones now, right?
Number one.
Now we're at number one. My number one was Thor. Brant, you're number one.
Amazing Spider-Man.
Kat, you're number one.
Mine was also Amazing Spider-Man.
Chris, you're number one.
X-Force.
Michael, break the chain.
You're gonna break the chain.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
And we talked about that.
Yep. Tevia did ask, because this was a big book, so I guess we could only Brant. Oh man, we lost. But Tevia asked, did you guys read Superman Heroes? So only Brant wants to discuss it. So
I did read it. I'm not going to say a whole lot about it. I was hoping that it would be as good as what was it, issue 19 of Superman, that had most of the book was really good until the Mongol stuff. That's where this was supposed to continue, and it did, but it wasn't as impactful. I think we got all the heaviest emotional moments in that Superman issue. So this was just like, okay, it's there. It was another. I would have, if I had to choose between Pennyworth and this, I would have chose Pennyworth.
Yeah.
What book?
Superman
Superman
Heroes.
Heroes, just because Tevye asked about it.
Okay, gotcha.
So we're up to chopping block.
Yes, Chris, it's time for
Time
you to
for-
do your favorite scene.
Chop, and as most of you have heard already, I'm chopping Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey. Kat, what are you chopping this week? Are you chopping?
Harley Quinn and Birds of Prey is half chop for me. It depends on what the week will be when it comes out for issue 2. And then also Alienated, I'm most likely gonna chop when that comes out.
Thank you, Doctor Who at 50 and beyond.
Thank you.
Sure. Thank you.
Nice, thank you.
Okay, Brand, are you chopping anything this week?
I'm chopping so many things.
He's chopping so many things, but I mean,
He has a big list. So
Yeah.
was that this week that you had that huge list?
Yeah. Well, no, next week I have a big list of
Oh,
books.
man.
So
I have 14 next week, and that's like big these days.
like tomorrow's it's like I had 30 potential books for tomorrow.
Okay.
So
Oh my god.
all right. So Alienated is a half chop, just like you. Depends on the week. Another half chop is Excalibur. I thought this might happen after that first arc, which I did like. This issue started a new arc, and I didn't like it. So I'm going to give it one more issue, and that's if I don't like the next issue, it's gone. Rising Sun. I really liked the first issue, but for some reason, the second issue, I just found myself bored, and it's a title that I was like, okay, I was giving it a shot, and now it's like, yeah, I just don't know if it's going to hold my interest when I got so many other things to read. Wonder Woman is the last one. I tried one more issue of this, and it felt like it was all over the place. Issue 750 made sense that it was all over the place because you had all those stories, but this one was supposed to be one continuous story, and it still felt like they were going off in 10 different directions, and it just lost me completely. Sorry, Sweet. I know you like Wonder Woman, but yeah, I'm done.
and this is such a lie. I've got to call it out. You are not. You're lying. You'll read issue number 21.
We'll see in 2 weeks.
I did drop it. I didn't even get issue 20.
After that reveal issue, I didn't pick up anymore. I just picked up that issue 18.
I warned all of you, and you're like, no, give it a shot. And then, see?
I dropped it after 19, I think it was.
See? Mike, you chopping anything?
It was the Birds of Prey book. I'm chopping that whole sucker.
Okay, so Michael.
No chop.
No chop.
No chop for you.
So we go into Chop Suey and Key Issue.
Key issues. All right. So we got a lot of books to talk about with this. So I'm going to try to go through them kind of quick. We'll start with Michael with Bloodshot number 0.
Yeah. When I heard that Bloodshot issue 0 was coming out this week, I don't know if it's going to be the prelude of going into a new story, or if it's just going to be a regular issue that's going to go into many different stories. So I don't know how or what this is going to play out, but I'm going to definitely check it out to see what it is, because it's just weird how we just had Bloodshot this week and now we're getting another Bloodshot.
Yeah,
from what I know. But I'll definitely look into it though and see what it's about.
I want to clarify, because this person asked, one person gave Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey a bad review, one gave it a good review. So are we calling it bad or not? Each of us, all 5 of us, have different opinions on many comics. Just because 2 of us hate it and maybe 1 of us love it, really, there's no ties. We're not, we all have our own opinions. We all like different books. We all read different books. So honestly, Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey, while most of us are chopping it, I mean, 1 of us is still going to be reading it. So
and it doesn't mean that you shouldn't try it either.
Right. Exactly. We're sharing our thoughts, not what you. We will never tell you what you should and shouldn't buy. Don't buy Superman. But we will.
Superman, I guess. But
we
also,
will,
we're gonna say curse.
No, I'm just saying. But we will share our opinions, and then you make your decision off of our opinions, things we talk about, and then go check the book out yourself.
Yeah, from what you like. You might be like, oh, this person really hates Mystique or whatever. And it's like, well, I know I'm not going to read that because I don't like Mystique. And it's like, well, Brant might really like Mystique. So it's just like, it's everyone. We just try to give our opinions on it, and you could, you could kind of figure out your own opinions through that. But yeah, it's not a contest by any means on that regard.
And we always respect our opinions as well.
For sure.
Yeah, we don't really come to a consensus on a book. It's like, okay, this one, unless we just all are reading it. It's rare that we all 5 are reading every.
Literally only Spider-Man.
Yeah, Spider-Man's basically it. So, I was just gonna say with Bloodshot, real quick, Michael. I read the description and it seemed like it's supposed to reveal what this mission is all about, really. That's whatever's going on in the main series. So
then it's a prelude to before the mission. I already could tell what the issue is going to be.
All right, let's see. Aquaman 57. Mike and I are curious about this because of Aquababy.
Aquababy's being born, baby.
I think I bought this issue for the same reason I wanted Batman. Was if this is the first issue with Aquaman's baby, I wanted to have like a first.
Yeah, it's a first appearance of this.
Yeah.
And what's the point of this baby being born? There's got to be a reason behind
Aquaman's going to lose his hand again to protect it, just like in the animated series.
Just in the animated series, that happened in the comic too.
Oh, I know, but I'm saying that this is a reason for Aquaman to lose his hand again.
Maybe this character eventually will take over, as king in the future.
Maybe, yeah. It could be a threat to Orm.
Oh, yeah.
Sounds
This
like
might be the only issue of Aquaman I buy, but
Maybe.
just curious to see what happens.
Well, it's in our big books next week, and we know 2 people probably will be reading it. So it means we'll probably talk about it next week.
I'm speculating on Aquababy.
That's what our title will be.
Yeah, that's totally gonna be our title. Let's see, Kat, a book that you are definitely looking forward to, and me as well as Runaways, number 30.
Hell to the yeah.
That's still going on?
Yeah.
You know what, Chris? Get out. It's going on.
It's already number 1. It's already number 1.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, we'll have to see. It might be. This arc has been so freaking good. I want to know what's going on with that, the Doc Justice and there's a lot of tension with Gert. It's been really, really good. Also, this arc has been long, but it doesn't feel long, and that's something I really like.
Yeah, it's interesting that way. It is very drawn out, but you're right. It doesn't feel like, oh my, this has been going on for 10 years kind of thing.
Because there's new information every issue.
Yeah, it's structured really well. I'm really curious to see what goes down with Justice though, because I just Gert's onto him, and I want to see that blow up. I can't wait for
Gert's
that.
the hero here, which is so cool because we never got to see that. She's the leader, and really in this regard, secret leader, but it's cool.
Exactly. All right, flash forward number 6.
I just got to see the end of this train wreck.
Right.
I have to.
Yeah,
I haven't liked an issue. Yeah, I just have to see the end.
I liked the first issue. That's pretty much it.
That's where it ended.
He's in control of the Mobius chair, right?
And he basically gets his Dr. Manhattan powers.
Yeah, it's leading into that free comic book day thing, right? So yeah, I want to see how they handle it, and that might determine things going forward for me.
In DC or with Flash or in general?
With Flash, well, with Wally specifically, but yeah, maybe with DC, it depends. I don't know. We'll see. Speaking of DC, Teen Titans. That is a book that we are enjoying, most of us. Yeah.
Yep.
So
good book, man. It's there. I love this.
See what's going on next.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At 6:30 in the morning.
Wow.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
Thank you so much for being that dedicated.
Yeah.
Also, I want to mention, thank you for all the new viewers on Comic Frontline. I think that's so cool. Thank you.
Yeah, this is amazing. We love this. Thank you.
Yeah.
I really appreciate that.
Thank
That's
you, guys.
awesome. Yeah. All right. Heading back to Michael with Red Sonja, Age of Chaos, number 2.
Yeah, so in the last issue, it was I remember reading this I believe 3 weeks ago, and I said it was a little bit okay. So I'm gonna go into this and see what I think of it, and if I don't like what I see, I'm probably going to get rid of it. I don't know, because I think I said it was okay last issue, so I'll go in with a different set of mind and see what I think of it for this week.
Okay. And we'll head over to Mike, because somebody just mentioned in the chat, Deceased Unkillables, number 1.
Yeah, I'm Dude, I'm totally excited for this. I guess the plot line here is now that all the humans have abandoned Earth and went to this other Earth, the zombies or whatever the hell they are left on Earth. So what happens to them? What happens, with them, with each other, and all this other kinds of crazy stuff. So I'm anxious to see, like who is left, like do they talk to each other, like if all the humans are gone, how do these characters, what do they interact with? So this is going to be a lot of fun, I think.
All right, and we talked about Gwen Stacy earlier, so Ghost Spider #7 comes out tomorrow, and it's a new arc, right? It's the start of a new arc.
No, so last issue is the Fantastic Four stuff, so it's Sue and
yeah. Right. I forgot about that. Yeah. Okay. So I'm interested in that.
I love that cliffhanger, so I'm ready.
Yeah. Sorry, I think I was reading a future solicitation or something. I got confused. Yeah. I remember us talking about how it was weird they were posing together on the beach and that kind of thing.
Yeah, it was very interesting.
Yeah.
For sure. It's interesting.
Let's see. We got Red Mother #3 coming out.
I'm going to read 1 through 3 probably tomorrow.
I think you'll especially like it, Chris.
Yeah, it's so good.
So freaking good. And I'm so excited.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, it's like, that's not my type of genre, but I'm really enjoying this series too. It's really good. So
it's probably one of the best horror books I've read in a really long time. It's just like the pacing's so good. Thriller. Yeah.
Something that you are definitely reading, Chris. TMNT 103.
Continuing forward, new story arc. Splinter's gone. Somebody's watching the Turtles. I think it's Shredder. I think Shredder is like going to be like their guardian because he promised he was going to not change his ways, but he promised he was going to be He was going to be better. Period.
Yeah, I like the way that they've been separated just because dealing with this loss and everything.
Oh my God, yes, poor Mikey hasn't even talked.
Yeah, I know. It's just they're handling each one of them so well and so differently. But at the same time, I'm like, I want them to get back together.
They are. I think they're going to separate and then come back because you got Raph in New York. Donnie leaves to go back to New York. Leo is lost. Mikey is just completely withdrawn.
Yeah. So it's really good. Really powerful stuff going on there.
I think Shredder's going to be the one that brings them back together or tries to kind of snap them out of it, which would be awesome.
Yeah, I can see that. Let's see. We got Valkyrie Jane Foster #8.
I'm excited for her to go, not up against, but team up with Thor. That's going to be so cool. I love this book. This is just like, I think, not just one of Marvel's best books, but like one of the best superhero books on stands right now.
Mm-hmm. I agree. It's been really good. Let's see. We also got 5 Years #8 Cat. Now that we know that's only going to be, 10 issues?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I don't know how to feel. Like, I don't feel like there's been really a story much. So I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I was shocked when we found that out. And it's like, okay, so we only have like 3 issues left now. And it's just
like, what has happened? Nothing.
Not much at all. I mean,
going to Russia.
Right. I mean, she almost gets killed, thrown out a 5-story building, but
she did it.
Yeah, somehow. Okay, moving on. Plunge #1 is a new series from I think it's Image, right, Mike?
No,
it's DC.
This is
it's DC. Oh, it's Joe Hill. Yeah, Joe Hill. Yeah.
And this one's actually written by Joe Hill. And so,
how many books is he writing now? There's the Dollhouse, the Separate Head.
He's not actually writing Dollhouse though. He's not writing.
Oh, it's just one of his books.
It's one of his under his banner.
Okay. I thought he was writing it. I was under the impression he was writing it.
Right, but he's writing this one, and this one is pretty cool as this is about a like a sunken ship, and there's all kinds of shit living in it, and they got to explore it, and so yeah, that's going to be kind of cool.
Just makes me think horror game for sure. So I'm like, yeah, I'm in.
Yeah.
So Tymo Comics asks, is anybody reading Dr. Tomorrow, the Valiant book tomorrow? It's very superhero.
Only one that would be doing it, if any, would be Michael or Brent.
No, yeah, I was thinking about trying it. It just depends. I've got so many books. I gotta make
I've got a lot.
I gotta see how many.
Yeah. So maybe. It's a maybe. Let's see. I think we only have a few left. There's Bang #1 from Dark Horse, which there's been a lot of buzz about this book.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I don't know why, but I mean, I just don't know where the buzz came from. But I'm hoping it's a great book. It looks like very James Bondy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I'm curious. I'm going to check it out. The art looked pretty cool too. So, and I think is all we have left. Yeah, I think all we have left now is Wolverine issue #1.
Super exciting times. This is going to be my third favorite X-Men book, unless they screw it up, and I hope they don't.
He hasn't read it yet, but he knows.
We haven't had Wolverine. Hey, listen to me. We haven't had a Wolverine, the main Wolverine, in a long time. It's been years. Hopefully, in the years that it's been that we've had that little like cleansing away from the 300 different Wolverine titles, Marvel's ready to give us a good Wolverine title again.
I mean, if you guys like X-Force, it's same writer. I'm worried. I
love X-Force. That's what I'm saying.
That's the thing that gives me hope, because I do like X-Force.
Exactly.
Over the years, and I know there have been like some epic Wolverine runs and everything, I can never get into Wolverine solo book. The only Wolverine solo book I ever got into was Laura's. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm a little worried too, but hopefully it'll be good.
I've never loved the Wolverine book.
Yeah, they lost me when Wolverine became a school teacher. It's like, now you're just completely doing the opposite of who.
See, that was probably one I enjoyed more than his solo
Yeah.
series.
Oh, was that the Wolverine,
I love Wolverine and the X-Men.
Academy
Wolverine
one
and
or
the
whatever
X-Men.
it was?
Wolverine and the X-Men.
Wolverine. Yeah.
It was good.
I enjoyed that one. I mean, I didn't love the art.
But I liked the other Wolverine stories as well.
Yeah, depending on what you're looking for. But we are at the end of the show, so we're actually going to pick out our winner for the digital comics. So if you guys are still here, we are going to pick out. I'm going to screen share myself so we can see. I've been writing everyone's names down. Random.org. When we said we didn't have any sponsors. Random.org. All right. So I put everyone down. This is everyone who's commented. We are I think whoever's going to be #1 on the list is going to be the winner. And Radio Matt Gaming.
Hey,
there you go.
So we will hopefully message you on YouTube somehow to give you the code. I'll have to figure that one out. But I don't know. Is there inboxes anymore on YouTube?
I don't know.
No,
I don't think so. No.
There are not. You'll have to find out an email address.
Yeah, we'll talk somehow, Radio Matt, and we'll get you.
If you can maybe email the Comic Frontline.
Yeah, if you can email Comic Frontline
He's still in the
At
comments.
gmail.com. Yeah.
Oh wow, amazing! Thanks God. Actually, you could just email comicfrontline@gmail.com, and we'll give you the codes.
Yeah, just send an email to comicfrontline@gmail. We'll get you there.
We will also at you.
Congratulations. You'll win next time, Serenity. You never know. There'll be more digital codes to giveth away.
Okay, there we go. Yes, we'll definitely do this again at some point. We always celebrate something.
Oh yes.
Right.
Well, that being said, before we end the show, question to go around to everybody: does anyone have anything they'd like to talk about? Coming out. I knew Michael did. Michael, go ahead.
Yes. So on my Deuterock 18 channel, I did have 2 new videos that I uploaded this week of Tetris 99 of the 2 events of CPU Battle and Marathon. So definitely, if you want to go head over to Deuterock 18 and go check that out, and support and comments would be awesome. Yes, so go check it out and let's rock on together.
But you know what? Speaking of that, don't forget, if you're new to the channel.
I had something, but go ahead.
Nope. Go.
No, I was just going to say.
It was a good segue. I'm sorry.
I know. I'm sorry, and I didn't mean to cut you off and ruin it. No. I just want to tell everybody that our Kickstarter ended last night, and we were successfully funded, hit our first stretch goal and all that stuff. So, thank you so
one of
much.
2020. More to come. Awesome.
Absolutely. All right. Now go ahead.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
With the success noted, let's talk about some successful stuff. If you're new to Comic Frontline, definitely click that sub button. If you're
That
new,
was the worst transition.
and now there's no more.
Chris. Now look what you did.
Subscribe if you're watching on Comic Frontline. Subscribe to Comic Frontline if you're watching on Comic Corner 2.0. Subscribe to both channels, Comic Corner 2.0 and Comic Frontline. Above Mike's head is the notification bell. Click the notification bell after subscribing. So this way you're notified when we go live and when new videos are released. Underneath Michael, all of our social media at Comic Frontline. You can find us in all those awesome places right there. And then diagonal underneath Cat is thumbs up. Give this video a thumbs up. Helps us out. Helps everybody out. And yes, everybody's pointing everywhere. So you know what? Good night, everybody. Happy 6-year anniversary to Comic Frontline. Many more years to come. Take care, and we'll see you all next week. Happy New Comic Book Day.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks for watching, guys. Take care.
Bye.
Congratulations to the winner.